Hello. Hey.
Hello. Yeah, we're all muted.
Oh.
Goddamn! The best
Is
starts.
here.
I see that Az is gone. Don't worry. I've practiced for this day. Oh my God, I don't know any of his catchphrases. I'm bombing.
You just got here, too. You've got plenty of time to recover, brother. What's up, Gundam?
Oh, well, you know, I'm having a little drink here. I think I'll have another.
Good.
That does sound like a great idea.
Oh,
You'll
it
need
tastes
it.
like piss.
Oh.
What do you
Well, have
think?
another. It'll taste better.
Oh, good idea.
The more you have, the better it
It'll
tastes.
probably taste the same.
It's a little sweeter this time.
See?
That's
There
good.
you go.
Chug. Don't.
I'm happy to be here. God bless you all for having me here.
Thanks for coming back. If any of you are looking for the last episode he was on, it's a Rumble exclusive. But it actually had nothing to do with Gundam. He was perfectly fine. It was actually us.
I
So,
know. It's about time CNN unblocked me for that one.
Yeah. Jesus.
What was that one? Was that where we talked about P. Diddy?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you told us about how you were part of G Unit.
So
Yeah,
it was
that's
Jeremy's
true.
fault.
I talked about my origin story where I got corrupted by hip hop music in high school. That's true.
Oh, it was a good time.
So-
And we can't even say the thing that Nerdrotic say because that's what I think really got us over the edge.
The N word?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, that was a knee-jerk reaction.
Oh,
I was going to say, I don't recall saying it in public.
many times I don't even.
It's good. It's fine.
It was
Uh,
about children. That,
oh, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
There was a lot of things, but I'm
that was a great show.
guessing it was the thing in the intro. But maybe.
It was an
But
all timer.
But we've gotten away with that one before. So welcome to Friday Night Tights, everybody. Welcome to the brand new Friday Night Tights where we don't do intros. Which,
Oh, wow. Oh, I just
Yes.
realized that.
yeah, everybody's name's in the corner. You can see it. We introduce our guest, and tonight we have It's a Gundam.
I feel so special. If only my mother would roll out such a red carpet for me when I show up.
I know, and we brought you on to talk about the Acolyte, so don't feel that special. Okay, don't feel. Start drinking.
Well, I thought that's why he started drinking. It's because he was watching the Acolyte.
Yeah.
So.
It's just on a MILF Manor video as well, which is enough to drive anyone to drink.
Is that still
I
going?
forgot I was watching that.
How is that possible?
At least you
forgot, you just
Season
published the
3?
video.
At least you expect that to just be like actual trash. Well, at this point, we expect Disney Stars to be actual trash too. But it's like when a reality TV dating show, like whatever, you're like, this is going to be absolute trash, and you're expecting it and wanting it to be trash when you go in.
What was better than Acolyte?
The more compelling character,
Not hard.
More compelling
That is
characters,
true.
writing.
more of a linear story.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians has better writing than the Acolyte.
It does.
There's better twists as well.
Yes.
Like, oh, you like their sons,
More
here's their
complex
dads.
stuff.
Heel turn.
I'm sure I've done turds in a toilet that have better writing than the Acolyte.
Consistent storylines.
Yes, and a more satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, it's because I'm pretty sure Rotting Corpses had better storylines than Acolyte.
It's never a good sign when the head writer of a series needs to go out and explain every single episode, a la D&D with Game of Thrones season 8, which is better than the Acolyte, by the way. Still garbage, but better than the Acolyte. And Lesbian Headlamp has been out constantly. She did a Mary Sue interview. Amanda Stenberg went on The View.
That was glorious.
They just don't stop. They won't
Is that a
stop.
new thing for Disney? Because they did that with the Marvels. They trucked out the Marvel girls to The View.
Well, yeah,
Well,
it's owned by Disney, so yes.
Well, I wouldn't. It's not like a shocking that like while your show's out that you would go on a talk show and talk about that show to
I
promote
just mean
it.
specifically for the
The
View.
Leslie Headland one is more interesting to me because after every one of these episodes that comes out, there's an exclusive interview with Leslie Headland on one of these different sites where she like is trying to, well, you know, people are really looking at it in a way they shouldn't be looking at it. And this is really what we were going for. And I don't know if our show's queer with a capital Q and all this stuff, right? After almost every
characters aren't
episode that's
that
released,
gay.
there's a Leslie Headland reaction.
At one point, she said a story that literally doesn't exist. She said, May went onto the ship in order to go back to the Jedi planet and get proof that the Jedi was evil that she could take to Osha. That's literally never happened. She just lied about it in an interview. It's wild.
Yeah, well, like if there was some kind of dialogue or reference to that, it was completely cut out of what we saw. Right? There was nothing. She literally knocked her out, took her fucking clothes, and bounced. There was no internal dialogue. There was no implication. There was no external dialogue. Nothing.
There was that.
There was the haircut. But
Oh,
supposedly she found that proof. It'll be in a comic book somewhere. It's on the cutting room floor.
There's a lot of this stuff with Leslie. They explain it, and articles come out saying that the Jedi are evil. It's the They're going to take a new look at the Jedi. It's the dark side of the Jedi. But when we watch the show, they don't actually say anything. They don't tell us anything. It's not displayed to us what we should like. What's going on? When I look at this episode, it just looks like Jedi's going. There's kids here. Oh, they may be manipulated through the Force in a way that we need to investigate. Let's go and talk to them, and then there's a fight.
And let's go steal the kids.
Let's turn into a demonic-looking fucking smoke monster and start absorbing one of the children.
Is it true that
stab it? I'm sorry.
Leslie Headland said that was Mother Anastasia turning into the Force?
Okay,
Yes.
I have the quote. I have
That's
the quote
retarded.
here.
Transforming, yes.
Who knows that?
And well, this is amazing. She's the showrunner, right? So she should know the answer to this. And her answer was, I believe that Anastasia is transforming herself and May into the Force. What do you mean you believe? Is it you either know it or you don't? You wrote this stupid friggin' piece.
Or
of crap.
somebody wrote it for her and she doesn't know the answer.
Well, she did hire people that didn't know Star Wars.
Specifically.
That explains everything right there.
At least one person, right? At least one person.
Imagine if all the Force ghosts came back looking like that, though.
Why
like
is the
demonic
Force black?
forces hovering over you.
Why is the Force what?
Why is the Force black? I'm just curious.
That's what
Like it's just really dark black sand. It doesn't seem very warm and inviting.
Well, they're using the dark side.
Ah.
I mean, that's pretty
They're
clear,
using the
which is-
thread. Oh, I get
Well-
it. It's a joke. Oh God, I thought we were being serious.
When she's tempting Torben, she's like, give in to your passions, or they deny you your passions, stuff like that. Everything they do is clear signs that they are dark side users.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind the Jedi getting a little suspicious and wanting to find out what's going on with the kids.
Yeah.
With all those hints happening about what's going on there.
Well,
To be the contrarian, I've had a lot of women in bars and clubs whisper in my ear to give in to the passion, and I didn't feel like that was very dark side.
that's what I actually was more expecting, similar to what we saw in the last episode. I thought that was going to be when you see this in Torben's mind and Anastasia going around him. I thought she was going to start rubbing his dick and shit
Yeah, I
like
was-
that. Be like,
I
we
was
can
that
give you
too.
something the Jedi never could. Instead of, I know you've been here 7 weeks. We can make it so you go home after 9. That's what you really want. That's what your heart desires.
I could hear the Rolling Stones' "Brown Sugar" playing in the background of my mind.
Instead of, I know you've been here 7 weeks. We can take care of that. We can make your stay a little better.
Yeah, but
this
it was about
shit's
him
spicy.
wanting to go home, and also the idea that this retarded motherfucker was there for 7 weeks before they told him what they were doing. What is he even looking for? What's he collecting? What's he looking at on
Well,
a
the
pad? Like,
planet.
Putting stuff into a box. What is he
yeah,
doing?
like, what are you doing if you didn't know the mission? That makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't think the government tells its soldiers what the fuck you're doing half the time.
true.
You
You gotta
have
know
a-
something.
you have to know something. You do know what like some basis of what the mission might be. There might be certain things that are at certain clearance levels or whatever, but in terms of, you have to have some idea. If you were sent, say you were on a mission to go hunt for bin Laden, and the person they send into the field to go hunt for them was not told who you're hunting for or what you're doing there. You're just given a fucking metal detector and a pot to collect things.
But Ryan, it's worse than that.
For like probe droids or something. Why are they sending Jedi to go do this?
It's that,
Considering
but
our
it's worse than
government at
that.
the time, that might have happened. So just pointing that out.
All the other Jedi knew why they were there. They just decided not to tell this retard Torben because I don't know.
They're like,
they wanted
we're
to
pranking
him.
him.
Like,
It was
let's
about
just make
the
him
stick rate.
stress out for 7 weeks, not collecting moss and not knowing why. They're
I really like the character depth. We have Torben, which is the I want to go home guy. We have the Wookiee, which is a Wookiee. We have Squid Game guy, which is a creeper
yeah.
that just wants children. He
That
just
is
has
very
that
true.
feeling. He has that feeling. All of the characters have one note, and that's all they play. The
He
entire
really
show.
cared a lot about those kids.
A lot.
Yeah, I don't think Soul's really a creeper. He's obviously way too attached to like emotionally
Those
for, like,
two kids
what a Jedi
specifically.
should be.
I feel
But-
like
Instantly.
they should be mine.
But the Jedi were really retarded and stupid, but I don't think they really did too many things that are like wrong, like morally
Oh, yeah.
wrong in the situation.
None at all.
It was entirely justified.
And to portray them as like the bad guys in this is wild. You have these kids that are part of this coven of lesbian witches, and there's like, if you go there, you see these things, you see them getting attacked, you hear about sacrifice. There's probably like two options that you think are going to happen. Either they're going to like sacrifice the children to eat them, or they're just like sexually like molesting them. Like, those are your two options of what's probably going on in this lesbian witch grooming coven with these two kids there.
I
So
love how
the idea that you
extreme it
want to
got.
interfere is pretty fucking normal, I think.
It was like it's either the kids are getting molested or eaten. Either way, someone's getting touched.
Well, they're gonna bake them in the.
It could be both. Yeah. It could
I
be
thought they were
both.
going to sacrifice him to the Force. Ryan just took it so dark.
He did. He went there.
May even says, you know, we are taught to sacrifice ourselves for our destiny, and there's
Yeah, that
so
was
many warning
random.
signs. And Ryan, can we unpack the whole going home thing, because that's the primary temptation that Torben is given for him to entertain being manipulated by the dark side, betraying his oaths as a Jedi, and everything. And his primary temptation isn't to save a loved one like Anakin or anything like that. It's knocking off work a couple of days early. Is he that retarded? I couldn't believe. I was like, really?
And it's not like it's not like the life of the Jedi. If he goes home to court, it's not like he's gonna be out on the town partying and like drinking and getting laid or something.
no
I
South
don't
Beach, of course
understand.
not.
And if one little change, say if they had made Torben, he wants to like go out and help people. He wants to be a hero. He wants to be well looked upon. Like, that's kind of like his motivations, right? He has this quest kind of for glory. He wants to do the right thing, but he also wants people to know that he's a hero and be heroic. And maybe if that was what he was doing, he was frustrated that they were on what he felt was a meaningless mission. And when he did find out that some people were in trouble, he became a little reckless and was like, fuck what the council says. We need to save them, right?
Yeah.
That would make so much more sense than they're our ticket out of here so I can stop my camping trip.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Whoa, you got it wrong. He wasn't going to save them. It was because they figured out the kids had some sort of weird midichlorian level. And he's like, it's proof of whatever the hell they were there looking for. And if he got the
so he
proof
can
that
go
they
home.
had that magic power, then he could go home. It wasn't like he was.
But they
going
had
to
the
save
proof.
kids.
I
Had
know,
the
but
proof.
Well, they
Well-
needed more.
I know, but like what I'm saying is that's what they could have done easily
Yeah,
to make
yeah,
it make a
exactly,
little more sense.
exactly.
Why someone would do something.
That's
like
called
that.
character depth. You know,
well, there's-
arcs of characters that have
There's-
purpose.
The story always escalates via something stupid happening.
Yeah.
So he had to go and get the kids, but then when he reached the door was locked. And then he completely changes his mind and he's like, I don't know what to do, I'm stumped now. So then the other guy has to read their minds for some random reason that he never even explains, finds out that they're about to kill each other, so then they both climb up and beat a spaceship up a mountain, get to the top, and the conversation should have been, your children are on fire, oh, let's go and save them, and once we've saved them, she can go with you. But instead, they start having a go at him about the Jedi are raised by an institution rather than a family. It's like, that's what you want them to happen? You want them to, you're about to give them to her. So everyone has to be idiotic for the next stage of the plan to happen. And so by the end of the story, nothing makes sense and none of the actions do because there was no logical pathway for all the characters.
and then the
Maybe
articles
if they
come out
just
going, this
talked
is
to
such
each
a
other,
deep
They could have
show.
avoided the whole situation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like all they had to say is, we don't want you to take our children," and Saul would have been like, "Okay." But also on top of that,
With your
there are
permission.
layers.
Well, they were on fire at the time.
Yeah. There
One
are
was
And the
layers
flammable
to this
stone
stupid-
structure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like they're there, right? And they actively prevent the Jedi from saving their own children that they supposedly care for by fighting the Jedi. They're that retarded. Like I said, there's layers upon layers of stupid here. And what we were talking about just before, which is, damn it, I forgot. It'll come back to me again.
Torben's motivations.
Oh, yeah. Like so
Hang on.
the whole reason all this stuff happened is actually because of the witches in the first place. Because if
Yes.
they didn't manipulate Torben to
As
be so
Ryan was
obsessed about
saying.
going home, he wouldn't have run off to try and get the kids. And so all of this is the witches' fault, right? The Jedi are basically blameless in this, yet somehow they're that guilt-ridden that Torben decided to off himself from this stupid
Dude,
story.
We thought
the,
we were
the
doing the
Jedi
right
were
thing.
retarded, but then they covered it up at the end. So they did something more retarded, which makes them bad, which makes them horrible Jedi, and they should all be kicked out of the council immediately.
They are
did
And
that.
how
I don't
did
know why
how
they
did
covered it up.
Torben become a Jedi Master? Like just with his attitude. Jesus.
Wait,
That's
Torben
interesting.
like started
To be fair,
meditating.
he did
for
stay
50
home
years.
for 10 years.
I got some breaking news.
Oh,
This is
Is it Alec Baldwin?
no.
Oh.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that
Did
bad.
he shoot someone else?
in the courtroom.
It has been announced that there's going to be a panel at Comic-Con, guys. Two showrunners are going to come together for one panel. Russell T. Davies and Alex Kurtzman.
I really hope they announce a new show.
Star
Disparu.
Trek and Doctor Who panel. Holy shit. Oh,
They're going to do a crossover series.
Oh, dude, I'm going. I ain't missing that one. I am not missing that one. Holy crap. Sorry. So, yes, we're going to continue talking about the Acolyte. There is a Captain America. It's a bold move. It's a brave move to make a Captain America sequel without Captain America, but we're going to go take a look at it. God, I'm forgetting her name. Agatha. What's the actress's name? She hosted the Jimmy Kimmel show. Did a little song about fans.
oh,
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn.
Then there's some new Rings of Power stuff. Disparu just did a video on it. It's pretty cringe. So that's what we're going to talk about. We can continue talking about the Acolyte because that last episode was filled with like the previous two were really tough to review and you had to get creative, right? Because nothing fucking happened. And if this series wasn't so fucking memeable, like there's a minimum, you just saw one. There's a minimum of one meme that can take off on Twitter, but this one had multiple memes going on in it. And then you have Amanda Stenberg going out and Leslie Headland going out and fanning the flames, and they're just making shit worse. If they would shut the fuck up, it wouldn't be this bad. It wouldn't be this bad. If you just took your lumps and went along your way and then claimed a bunch of people watched it on D+, because nobody will really know, other than comparing it to Nielsen's. Oh, and those ratings, not so good, by the way. The Access Media was reporting a couple of weeks ago that it was the second most popular, or the second most talked about or discussed.
Well, they
Oh,
implied. Yeah, go ahead, Chrissy.
Like talked about that's they're resorted to using that unit of measurement to to like say, oh, it's doing great. People are talking about it. Well, it's not positive. So
Yeah, exactly. And like you see this also with different types of shows. Take something like Reacher, right? Reacher gets massive ratings, but in terms of social media impressions, it's not really there because it's just kind of a different audience that's watching it. Probably a little bit older audience, probably not ones that are going to sit there and tweet about what ship they want to see or which dude they want to see get fucked in the ass because that's like what their fantasies are, right? Like it's just a different thing. So when you look at that, you can bring that article up. This is how they imply. They imply that these definitive ratings show that despite the backlash, it's actually a massive success.
Actually.
And when you scroll all the way down to the graph, we don't have to read any things from that fucking queer who wrote it. There you go. This is basically what they're saying, right? These random streaming and engagement index, engagement being an
who
important
made
thing
this?
there. Like they're saying, hey, look, Obi-Wan was the most watched and also the most engaged with. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, well, people are talking about it. So Acolyte is the second biggest success according to this metric for Disney Star Wars. Unfortunately, according to the ratings, it's essentially tied for the worst rated show in terms of who is actually watching it.
Mhm.
Wow.
You know,
people are shitting all over it on social media every time an episode comes out. That's engagement. That looks good on this graph, but the people watching it don't actually look good when you put it in a chart like this.
This is
No.
unironically from, Kung Pao, where the guy gets beat out. It's like, I have more blood on me, therefore I am the victor. It's like, Acolyte has
don't think it
been
works
getting
that way.
crapped on more than any other show. Therefore, it's a success. They're that retarded. But because I believe, it's a very talked about show. Everyone dunking on it because of how bad it is.
It's obfuscation.
You have
is
to
what
ask
it
who
is.
this is for as well, though, because it's not
Right.
going to get people to watch it just by going, oh, it was talked about a lot. Clearly, nobody is watching it, and it's not going to improve your bottom line by pretending that people are watching it, so I can only assume it's to trick shareholders. Like
Yeah,
they
I
are
was gonna say,
literally
this
the only
is
people that would
basically a means to
invest off
trick
bad
shareholders and investors and whatnot to say, hey, look, it's actually really doing really well. No, actually, it's not.
And the sad
It's a
thing,
lie.
it fucking works.
Yes,
It
does.
works on
That's why they do it.
shareholders. Yeah.
Well, it works on people in
information.
general
Yeah,
because
yeah.
people are kind of dumb, right?
It's
so
Twitter.
Well,
it
they
works
don't do
on.
their own research. I wouldn't say necessarily dumb. They're just not going to dig any deeper.
well, dumb and ignorant just depends, right?
Yeah.
But because Screen Rant comes out with that, right? Screen Rant comes out with that article, and then you have 100 to 150 other articles that are regurgitating the same exact thing that is now out there saying, well, despite the racist fans telling you it was bad, actually it's a massive hit for Disney. Well, then the real ratings come out and that's all a fucking lie.
Yeah.
Just like it was a lie when they tried to pretend like the first day or two ratings were good, and then we got the real numbers. We
As
see it
we
over
all
and over
know,
again. But
Screen
people do
Rant
fall
is
for it
gay and
because people
retarded.
are headline readers. They just are.
The retractions on page 5, nobody reads it.
We need to stop using the term fan base when we're referring to people that are just watching a show. Because this is not a fan base. These are
Possibly.
people to show up to see the train wreck. Okay,
Yep.
there's a difference.
I think
Yes.
it's mainly YouTubers, to be honest.
Yes.
Honestly,
Gotta be.
YouTubers
Yes,
and
that's the last
spectators.
25%.
And most
The-
of the people watching our content aren't watching the Acolyte. They just love seeing the review and seeing how much of a dumpster fire it is.
Which is really sad for them.
That's a good poll to put up. X-Ray Girl, how many people actually watch The Acolyte?
I gotta say, I love.
Did I
when
surprise
Ryan
you
reviews
with that?
things.
When you like when I review things, why is
Yes,
that?
would you give me the play-by-play of Disney fucking up, and you just pepper in a little bit of latent homophobia? It kills me every time, every single time.
Winning combo.
Well, that's Ryan on a daily basis, to be honest with you.
Are you not allowed to say queer now?
Oh, go
Leslie
right
Headland
ahead.
is
They
like
took that word back.
Leslie Headland wanted the show to be queer, right?
I know, like the
She's
way you
into it.
deliver the line, though. It was like Rodney Dangerfield in his prime.
Yes, it's the delivery is good. But it is the gayest Star Wars ever. We totally agree. We are in agreement there.
I actually think that one of the reasons the show's so fucked up is because the premise from the start, what they want to do, the reason there's this witch cult, the reason there are these two girls that are part of it, and the Jedi are trying to come in and tell them how they should run their lives. This is like this is a writer's room full of unfuckable lesbians who are
Just see the photo of the writer's room. Jesus.
See how he does it?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's
This
absolutely
is a
brilliant.
writer's room full of unfuckable lesbians who are trying to essentially put an analogy for it. Like you have this structure of power, you have these oppressors, you have the patriarchy, the people that are trying to tell us we shouldn't be allowed to do this with our kids or groom our kids or do whatever. They don't always know best. Sometimes it's okay to just let other people do things that you think are different than you. That's like where the premise comes from.
Yes.
I think all intersectional lesbian feminism. That's what I think it's about.
It's a perfect description. And the problem is they're not good enough to even get their own quote unquote beliefs across in a fucking TV show. It's such mixed messaging because it's like, no, you're a commie. So you want an institution to raise your child and not a parent, but then you're a cult. So, and you're presenting them as the good guys. Okay, based. All right. That coming from your side, I believe you're all a cult that believes they're good guys. All right. I believe with that. They don't know what to do with these two kids. And of course, we found out that they are one consciousness in two bodies, supposedly.
Oh yeah.
We
I
find out
liked when
that-
they said it required something really dense to split their consciousness. It's like, yeah, Leslie. It's like the other explanation.
Yeah.
I have to admit, the fact that the lesbian cult had to live in a man-made structure was pretty accurate too.
Yeah, but there was no men around to have any basic fire safety protocols, apparently. So
There was one man.
Wait,
there
one man
was.
masquerading as a woman.
yes, there.
If
Philosophy-
someone was gonna kill
philosophy
themselves
tube.
on the show, I
I
thought it
missed
would
it.
be them.
Yeah, it's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Favorite.
What?
Yeah.
philosophy tube.
Yeah. But I think that the irony is with all that being the message they're trying to push, what I take away from it is lesbians shouldn't be allowed to have kids. Don't let them adopt kids. Don't let them take care of kids. Look at what happens. So
Listen.
thank you, Leslie Headland, for teaching me something
Yeah.
about the
People listening to
LGBT
this.
community.
Ryan's technically not wrong. Lesbians lead in beating the living hell out of each other.
They really do.
Look it up. He's
No,
not.
no, I know.
Now,
I know.
hey, if that
Violence,
structure's a U-Haul factory, it makes sense. Everything makes sense. Okay.
They want to be close to the source.
They want to be close
know,
to the source.
Talking about the subliminal messaging, I found it very interesting that they have this philosophy that if a child chooses to make a life-altering decision, even though they are far too young to really think about it, the parents, they will just they have to be, their decision needs to be respected. Even though the parents at any time could have just said, no, you're not going with a Jedi. But
And she was too old to be a Jedi, too.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. It's not that they're bad at getting their ideas across. It's that their ideas are just the opposite of yours. So they literally think they've done some... It's a bit sort of like the Christian preaching where it used to push a moral message. They think they've done that for the witches. But you just like, no, they're evil. They're all evil. They deserve it. She's turned into a giant evil Sith demon. No one cares what happens to her. But they're like, no, the Jedi are the worst things ever. We finally destroyed their legacy.
You're totally right. Inside their tiny bubble, it makes total sense to them. They're like, Slay Queen, you're preaching. I understand every single thing you're putting in this. And to everyone outside of that, which is like 99% of the world, are like, what the fuck is
Chrissy?
this garbage?
The
You had a
moment they came
question?
out with that police bullhorn, you were supposed to hate the Jedi. Like, just from that alone.
Chris, you had a question?
Yeah, how old were the girls supposed to be?
Young or old? Young or older? They're supposed to be
Younger.
9. They're supposed to be 9. And I think they're like 24 or 5, obviously, doing
And
the math.
how old, when's the
X-ray girl.
cutoff for the Jedi? Is it like with gymnastics? If you don't get in before your boobs start to grow, like it's over?
I think the cutoff
It's
is
exactly like that.
motorcycle racing.
That's in a guidebook by George Lucas. right after he says there's no underwear in space.
Yeah. There's no bras in space. Sorry.
Description that Ryan mentioned about like 2 souls. What was it? 2 souls just split into one. I couldn't get the visual of Abby and Brittany Hensel out of my head. You know, the twins was just like the one girl with the 2 heads.
Yeah.
They should have booked her.
Yeah, she just got married.
They missed an
Congratulations.
opportunity there, man. Holy
One
crap.
of the twins got married. Yeah, they share a coupe.
That's awkward.
Explain
but
that to me.
Good for
This
them.
whole time I thought they were dead. Holy shit.
No, they're alive. They just got married.
They're alive and
been
they're
married.
teachers.
They're teachers.
Do they teach
Oh,
different
Leslie
subjects at
Headland's
different
interview.
times? How does that work?
That's like the one.
It's a
that's like the
scheduling
one
nightmare.
group There's like the only people who like tell me what your pronouns are. I don't fucking know what to call you.
Yeah.
Is it they, them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they.
Is it technically polygamy since there's 2 of them married to this dude?
Yes.
Oh,
Do they only have one vagina?
yeah.
Yes.
Because it's
Is that how you count
One
it?
butthole.
You can get married to
One
one vagina.
Okay, if it's only one, then no.
Do they each control one side of the body?
Yes. Yes.
So it's like it's my turn to fucking flick the bean, like type of thing.
Well,
Yeah,
oh
one-
my- how do
one-
you?
one- one-
So
like,
they
I'm
walk.
not
They have to
sure.
think about walking. Then they're all right. Okay.
You need a drummer
That's a
behind them
good
from the
point.
military.
I hope they live
It
to
would make
1,000 years
even,
old
like,
and live a happy
something as
life.
simple as like a hand job or whatever. It's like, all right,
Make
I've
them
only got one
it's a
hand.
process.
You
You
got to
know?
be a team player.
Hand-eye coordination.
Takes practice.
What is if one has a boyfriend and they're like, hey, he's gonna come over and fuck me tonight? You just like blindfold and earmuff the other
Yes.
one. This is
Yes.
How did we get here? What are we talking about right
just reading
now?
a book over here while you're just like,
I mean,
You
I
get
know
some
about
sound
going off the
canceling
rails.
headphones, all right, and a little
Yeah.
sleeper mask.
what are the
And enjoy
what are
the ride,
Mormon
I guess.
rules on that shit?
I can
don't
honestly
know.
say it's more interesting.
That's
than
something we
Acolyte.
could discuss on Rumble. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
during
Yeah,
the,
okay.
we could break
Almost
down the physics of all that.
Let's put a pin in it and we'll
Yeah.
come back.
We'll keep that
Come
tab
back.
open. We'll keep that
And
tab
promptly
open.
Close it.
We'll circle back to
Well,
that.
we'll circle back.
Yeah.
Ryan keeps all the tabs open.
I do.
I'm
Yeah.
closing
Sometimes
mine.
sometimes I find
Good
tabs
idea,
that I have
Gundam.
open for like that I've had for like 5 weeks open
Oh.
that I like have to close it.
So-
Really, just
Porn,
5
I hear
weeks?
ya.
How does
It's-
your system run?
It's
I don't know.
it's incredible that they did it. Remember last week we're all. Do you think they'll do an entire flashback episode? And I remember Mahler and others saying,
Said yes.
"Nah." I said they couldn't. I agreed with Mahler. I'm like, there has to be some kind of bumper, beginning or end. You said yes, Garrett. It was
I got
yes.
one.
It was yes. It was another entire flashback episode with, and I kid you not, they probably shot him. They could have shot him at the same time. It's just a
They
different
100%
angle.
Did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, and half of the episode was just regurgitated footage without adding any context other than Soul watched the episode too. So I hope next
Look, he's
episode.
us.
I hope the next episode is Little Wang watching Soul watch episode 3. That's I hope it turns into a Jeremy React video. That's what I hope the Acolyte turns into.
I would have paid to see
his
Leslie
perspective.
Headland's reaction, though, on those original reviews, where everyone's like, this is stupid. But there's going to be another flashback that'll explain everything and recontextualize this, because there's no way that fire burnt it all down. And she's like,
I know.
it is that
Okay,
bad."
can we? Okay, the
Every
same
scene was exactly what it was
So,
the first time.
all the
I
men.
think it made it more stupid. It made it dumber.
It
Like-
does make it dumber because you had a chance to get out of the fire in the stone structure. And let's remember, we're dealing with all the Mensas who were coming after me over the campfire in space that they had. And that could actually have. It's like, oh my fucking God, we're doomed. But these are the same people who had a chance to go, maybe the Jedi set that fire. Maybe Smilo Ren set that fire. No,
Something.
it was a kerosene lamp in a stone structure with scanners and a generator and everything. Fine, it's space kerosene. And it might have burnt the corner of that stone for about a minute until the kerosene,
until the fuel burned out.
until the
Yeah.
fuel burned out, and it would have done no damage. No, that sumbitch fucking caught the little door connector on fire,
the
the
wires caught on
metal
fire.
door, the
It went from
wires.
This is how it happened. It
Guys,
went from
I
the metal
figured
door
out how it
panel
worked.
Through the
The
wires.
wires caught fire, and that's the reason why the building
Through
burned
the
down.
wires to the core, to the generator, and
And
blew
it
it
literally-
up.
It's hilarious.
Dude, no, Shad, I was watching the Waco documentary this week, the little short one on Netflix, and all the similarities were eerie at that point. I'm like, holy shit, this is Waco Star
They're
Wars.
like,
Space beds got
hey,
sent in.
y'all can't come in here. We're just doing our thing. We're just trying to be left alone by the government. We got a bunch of kids here. You can't come in and try to hurt us like that. A lot of people might get hurt. Something like that happens. We just want to be left alone right here.
That's
And,
right.
It's
The
exactly
Jedi's
what happened
bringing
with tanks.
flamethrowers.
It was fucking Waco.
I got it
Flamethrowers.
about the base exploding. Every time I just assume something because it's common sense, they prove me wrong that they're more retarded. And I can't believe it, because in that episode 3, I thought like, okay, she set the fire and then she must have done something to the generator because we saw her running out of the generator room. And so I just naturally assumed, because I'm an idiot and I overestimate these people.
Shad,
that
the most obvious answer
she
is
set off
the most
Jedi-
retarded one is the
generator.
answer.
Well, exactly. I just assume
It's
she
Occam's
sabotaged the
retard.
generator. But
Occam's
no,
retard, yeah.
this fire sets off the generator and makes it explode. And I'm just like, what? Are you kidding?
Just looking
When
at
the
it, it's
spaceship arrives,
ridiculous.
things at the top of the base are exploding through walls and stuff. So I don't even know what that was.
I have an explanation.
Stone.
I have an explanation, and the irony is not lost that there's a girl named Osha in that room. But there's no men around, and they had like the most flammable kerosene. They had like force infused kerosene that can fucking just. It was like napalm.
Have a fire suppression
Hang on.
system?
There's no
What's lighting
extinguishers.
this? My
There's no
question, what is
fire
lighting
exits.
this?
Nothing.
Hang on, is this what happens when a woman does the wiring? Is that their message?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think. Okay. To be fair, the one dude probably did the wiring, but he was a
This
YouTuber.
Well,
would
it was
be
an
the
old
equivalent
mining rig.
of-
So
this
we
is
have
the
to be.
equivalent. Sorry, go ahead.
It was an old mining rig, so we have to like connect the dots ourselves. And I guess maybe there was a gas leak this whole time. And
Yeah.
nobody.
That would
had
explain the
common knowledge.
retardation.
That'd make a lot more sense.
That would explain a lot of the behavior too.
Yeah.
This is like somebody flicking a cigarette like off the Hoover Dam, like when they're driving over it, and it ends up burning the entire thing to the ground.
Exactly, dude.
That's the same level.
It just so happens.
That's
to
the kind
land in a
of dude.
pile
That's the kind of thing
gasoline.
that happens in an airplane movie. Okay, that's literally.
Try this.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, see, yeah, we can do it that way
very
because we have that time. We have to do
Yeah, that's
something
better.
about that.
And
Oh,
that
the future
fire
is now.
starts. That fire starts when the Jedi are still down at the bottom of the base. So by the time they've climbed the mountain, had a conversation, and started the fight with the other people, only then does Osha escape out of that room. Like the timing of this episode is all over the place.
Yeah, she escapes
full
right
series.
to where her sister is too.
The space bows.
That-
Yeah. Okay.
With the cultural appropriation
So
there.
the only difference we saw, there's like, God, I think Drinker said it in his video. There's about 10% new information in this, and he's correct with that assessment. I think that might be a little high, but the new information we get is 10%. It is. There's one consciousness and two girls. It was horny lesbian space witch who sent May to go keep her sister there, right? they lied about the test to buy time to contact the Let's Get High Republic or the Jedi Council, not the government, the Jedi Council, the clergy. And I'm missing one. What is the other? Oh, and we found out that Torben wanted to just go home, so he's willing to. That's why he killed himself.
Find out that from the moment Torben essentially walked in, that he was getting mind raped by the witches, right? This was not like, it was not they had a big conversation and after that seemed like they weren't going to leave, she did that in reaction. No, as soon as he walked in there, effectively, he started getting mind raped by Anastasia.
The malevolent good witches.
What was the horny mother's plan, though, with May when she says stop her? Because she could have just told Osha, no, you're not going. But what power does she think May has over Osha?
As a lesbian, you should know this. She's the angry, abusive lesbian partner who just wants to start shit, start drama. And
May's plan was to murder her sister. That sounds like a bad plan.
She set her daughter off on a killing spree, essentially, that destroyed the whole base. Like, the witches, everything that happens are their own fault. They cause the destruction of the base. They cause the daughter to literally go and try and murder her sister. They are the aggressors against the Jedi and cause the Jedi to kill. Like, it's all the witches' fault in this. And they're trying to the show unironically thinks that it is showing the Jedi as the bad guys. They actually think
that's what they're trying to portray.
Exactly.
They're
that incompetent.
I have a theory.
That it's the opposite.
I have a legit theory on that. So there is a lot of scuttlebutt in the background, not just from that one guy who gave an interview, that former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, was not like this woke intersectional person, like, at all, despite being gay. She was actually kind of based, and now she flipped just to start getting jobs. And it might come off as like a poser version of intersectional feminism Disney, which it kind of does because it's got so many mixed messages. It can't even get the one that they want to get across. Like Shad said, the Jedi, I mean, they're just dumb. They're not evil. They're just dumb.
Yeah.
That would explain that this is the gayest Star Wars interview, because if you watch it, she isn't going to say, I'm into it. She actually goes, is that the talking point? Because I thought, and it's only when Amandla goes, you don't like it? Then she just look over and go, no, I'm into it, and kind of plays into it as a joke, which I think is why she tried to roll it back, because it wasn't what she was going to say originally. So I just thought she was kind of easily led by people around her. But
I kind of push back on it. Like, I'm not saying that she wasn't when other people worked with her, that she wasn't probably a little more normal, maybe. But
we could say normal. We'll leave it at normal.
Instead of like super based or whatever.
Well, that's what the guy in the interview said, right?
He's a fucking awesome dude. So I trust that was his impression of her.
Yeah.
But you go back to fucking 2020, 2021, when Leslie Headland's out giving interviews about this. And what does she say? She says that I really want to make sure that my experiences as a queer woman are reflected in this show. Like, these are things from her from years ago. I think that with all of the lead up and how bad they could tell the backlash was probably going to be, they probably didn't want the message to be it's the gayest Star Wars ever. Right. So she might have been backpedaling a little bit, maybe didn't want to super lean into it. And that's why you see the damage control after episode 3 or 4. Well, I don't think I've made queer with a capital Q content. Right. That's
and then we had
they're trying to have their cake and eat it too a little bit.
Like,
they're trying to back up for the backlash, but they can't because they know that what they put in there and how much that means to the 14%ers out there that like their shit.
Let's keep in mind, this has been in production since it was announced. So like for 4 years. 4 years. We were so it was announced in 2020. We live in a completely different world than we did in 2020. And what has everybody here said? The stuff that has been launched from between 20 and 22, you're launching it into a different like realm, a different reality than you were in that time. And there's probably a lot of backpedaling with this, but I heard this a lot in Hollywood, and I stick by it. Most of these people, the reason they get it's a confederacy of fucking retards, basically. It's a bunch of people who have no real personality, especially actors, who are willing to I will be whatever you need me to be. I've said that before. That's the thing I heard the most the 2 years I worked there, and that wasn't even with fucking actors. That was with with editors and shit like that. So people were willing to do just about anything. to get in that industry and say just about anything to get in that industry. And that's what's created this absolute cesspool of garbage, of insular garbage, because now when things got hyper political, other people couldn't speak. There was a time in Hollywood, it's always been left, right? But you've always been able to speak your mind to a certain point and not get fired, right? Now you'll just get fired. You'll get fired if you support the wrong person. You'll get fired if you put up the wrong Instagram message. Now, there's Instagram messages you can put up that are far worse, and you keep your job, Pedro Pascal. But like, ask Gina Carano how things turned out. And like, dude, Amanda Stenberg admitted making a diss track against Star Wars fans and has a fucking job right now. How is that even possible?
Yeah. It is so weird. When I was starting this, because I used to think that Hollywood's kind of full of the best people, and it should be, because it has the most money. And so you have the most money, you can afford to pay the best people and just literally headhunt the best of everything. And it's not what they've done, because they no longer care about quality. And with what you're saying about they can only hire people of one side, I said at the end of our video, and I still think it's like the key point, they have to ask themselves the question, what if the thing that nobody is allowed to say is exactly what needs to be asked in order for it to appeal to the audience? What if the point of view that they've banned is the only one which actually makes good stories? Because if you have banned like masculinity and a certain culture from doing anything, but if that is the heroic value system and you ban it from everything, well, now you can't have heroes. So everyone is a villain, including a hero. And so this is why you have to allow people to say anything, even if you disagree with them, because you may be cutting off the one thing that could save your entire industry.
Yep.
You may be wrong.
They need Ryan Cannell.
They need Ryan. Well, yes.
No, unironically, they might. Like,
they do. I have already written a letter.
I'm here to save you, Hollywood.
Ryan's going to be the last standing diversity and inclusion and equity officer in all of America, because they're all getting fired, which we'll get to later in the Rumble part. But I've already written his letter of recommendation, which I'm sure they'll put a lot of weight behind. Yeah, I signed it with crayon, and I misspelled my name, but it's okay.
I'll go to CNN, right? CNN's firing all their people.
Yeah.
I'll come in. One person, give me a decent salary. I'll do all their fucking jobs. I would have fired Don Lemon's fucking ass a long time ago, all right? So just give me
Get out of here, you fruit.
Unironic thing is,
I wouldn't say fruit.
like,
Yeah.
we're memeing it. We're memeing this, right? But I actually think he would save them money and help them.
Oh, yeah.
He would. Well, okay,
not even
we'll get back to Acolyte, but Don Lemon just proved how popular he really was.
Yes.
With the whole X thing and pissing off Elon and going out on his own, and you find out, he's not popular at all, and nothing on CNN is popular at all, and none of those people will go out and do anything on their own. They require these corporations for legitimacy, right? Because they are good little team players until they're not, right? Until they get rid of them.
I haven't watched TV in ages, and then I went back, and I think I was watching it was like a charity thing, and I was like, these presenters are awful.
Yes.
And I'd spent years watching YouTube, and they're all better than the presenters that were handpicked by the stations, because television picked people and told them, you will be successful, you will like these people. Whereas YouTube is kind of crowd-selected. Everyone decides on their own merit what they like, and they go and watch those things. And so you end up with a better group of people. And that's what Hollywood is doing now. Rather than picking people that are successful, so they've got a proven history, they are now picking people that they like, and then just assuming that's enough for success. And it isn't. You need like the wisdom of the crowd effect,
including not auditioning your actors for the Acolyte, especially your main actor, who you would hope has a little range, and she doesn't at all. But there is an in-world explanation. She's just one person in two bodies. So there you go.
She's okay with criticism. She's okay with it.
Yeah,
clearly.
Hey.
She admitted on The View. I believe her. Not really.
My favorite line of her song is, now you're paying attention, let me tell you this. And it's just come after she's been pelvic thrusting at the camera.
Yeah.
That's what,
she knows
and
how
what
to
does she
get
say in The
attention.
View? She's like, a lot of times we have to make decisions in our lives when we're going to show restraint and when we're also going to be honorable. And I felt like in order to protect my honor, I had to speak out. And so I made a diss track.
I saw that.
And that's honorable to you. I'm sure your fucking whore mother is proud of you, fucking what you're doing. Wow. I'm not sure your white father is super happy about it, but that's honorable to you. That is the representation of Disney right now.
I would make an argument that even as terrible as Disney is, there's probably a couple people at Disney who weren't happy about it, but they can't do shit. They can't do anything about
Disney
it.
put her up to it.
What I like hilarious,
Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't have a problem.
She did that herself.
You know, her making a stand and doing the honorable thing is going to twerk her crutch at a camera for like
on
several
Juneteenth,
seconds.
no less, you bigot.
That's right.
These people are mentally disabled. It's like, what
She
are you
really should have
thinking?
stood back and let the non-Danish speak on that day, shouldn't she?
So we finally found out what Master Soul did. He wanted to de-escalate a situation. Sure, he broke into a place to de-escalate the situation, but there was a fire going on.
Mhm.
They did lock everybody in the building. Somehow Moss Windu had a really hard time. She needed to ask directions to find the to find the base because she got there so late. She had no landmarks to work off of. Okay,
I mean, Gary,
she
like,
needed to fly the ship there, and I'm sure that takes a while.
if after 7 weeks they can't use a scanner to detect any technology or big
Dude,
structures,
no.
yeah, they
Shad,
have
no,
to
she
find
actually
it.
got there in time. It just took her a half hour to park. That's all.
It takes less time to get from Coruscant to the Outer Rim than it does from wherever they were on Brendock to the other.
Friggin' show.
right.
It's funny because it's true.
Yes.
Oh,
I hate
God.
this show.
The entire approach as well from the Jedi. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. We're essentially looking for a Force nexus, like a location that is like, radiating extreme power in the Force.
Yeah, virgins.
I don't know what you need the metal detector. Obviously, it's not a metal detector, right? We don't know exactly what they're kind of scanning
Force
for,
detector.
but I feel like the best use of their time would have been to just meditate and reach out and try to find places. Maybe just park the ship over a place, like try to feel anything, sit there for 30, 45 minutes, meditate, not here, move on to the next grid, do like a grid pattern search of the entire place. That could have been done way quicker than whatever they were fucking doing.
I was
7
thinking
weeks.
about that too. Like the Jedi couldn't detect the Force-sensitive planet on their own.
Gundam. They were searching for life with metal detectors. Okay,
I know, but like it just in the rocks. I don't know what the rocks would tell you.
Yeah, he just puts anything in that box, like bits of grass,
Yeah, just,
stones. He doesn't care.
This rock looks strong in the Force.
Leaves.
I guess maybe you could justify and say that,
She looks so tired.
like,
She
with
does.
the
She does.
explanation- yeah, she's done.
Okay.
Everybody looks miserable. Everyone looks like they want to fucking die. So this is I could really relate to this part of the episode, but they did explain that 100 years ago it was a dead planet, and then all of a sudden there was a bunch of life. So maybe
A
they were just
hyperspace
taking
accident
samples
killed
of
it.
any different, like whether it's grass, a tree, like whatever, to try to do some readings on it to see if that could show anything different. But certainly they didn't explain very much of anything.
Yeah.
So we do have a load of
explanation was-
lesbians worshipping a hole that then brought life to the planet.
No, like
This is very on the nose.
the planet was dead from a hyperspace accident, and then it revitalized itself in 100 years with the Force, which is why they were getting rocks.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Accident?
So, the entire premise, well, the way the High Republic started was there was a collision and an accident while ships were in hyperspace, which whatever.
Hold on, maneuver. Okay.
There was an accident, and it basically sent like things scattering through in hyperspace throughout all portions of the galaxy, and it fucked up a bunch of different places and planets. It's really retarded. It makes no fucking sense. But this was like the first thing in the High Republic. It's what the High Republic, the first book, was based off, was this big accident that happened. So that's what they're talking about. I don't know, why they are like, oh, now all of a sudden it has life on it.
So they used the
Wasn't the High
disaster.
Republic long before this?
What?
There's the old Republic.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
We have no
The
idea
good one.
what they justify as Old Republic right now. They just haven't published any material, right? So the High Republic was a new fucking thing that they invented that spans essentially a couple hundred years back from the prequels. But
It was
when
the
you
height of the
actually
Jedi
look
Council.
and dig into the hyperspace mapping and things like this, they have shortened like the time that the galaxy has actually been able to be explored through space way more than it was before. So I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to do anything to fix that later. but you're talking about the High Republic is a couple hundred years.
So the government used the disaster to coerce control. Checks out.
Yep.
Checks out.
Right, what you know.
Yeah. Well, she's been doing that. I mean, she doesn't know any stories or dialogue or characterization, but she can draw on some things from her past.
Now, what's my favorite clip, though, which is literally the reason why I didn't choose identical children is because they're very hard to tell apart. That is my best line of any interview of all time.
Wait, what? Who said that?
No,
Leslie said that.
In the interview with the Mary Sue, Leslie Headland says the reason why I didn't choose identical twins is because they're very difficult to tell apart. That's word for word.
But then they're identical when they're adults.
But they're just when
that's the fucking point of the fucking show.
Yes, that's a direct quote, like word for word.
Parent Trap, they're identical.
You know what I would have liked to see?
This
for
bitch is
show?
dumb, man.
Is every time somebody dies, there's a big globe that fills up with money, and then at the end, Soul gets it all.
They should have wrote the show around that.
Jedi
idea.
games.
A way better idea.
Jared, see if you can find that clip. I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
Oh, wow.
I want to hear that.
Probably.
So they're sitting around a campfire that's burning the same way that fire burned in space in episode 1. And we find out that Torben, little Tom in here, just wants to go home.
Torben Baratheon.
Torben Baratheon.
This is where he's told that he's been here for 7 weeks, but he doesn't know that they're looking for a virgins in the Force. And I just want to jump on that as well. They're bloody inconsistent. They don't give a crap, okay? Because, like, hang on, suddenly a virgins in the Force can bring life to a dead planet. Screw Tatooine, because it happened on there, but that planet's still dead. But suddenly now it happens here, and it's brought life. And so they don't even know really what a virgins is in the lore. They're just jumping on that to like, oh, that's a word that's been used in the past. We can just use it to justify whatever the friggin' hell we want now. Because they are retarded. And they don't.
Yes.
And also the way Leslie Headland's explained it, she's like, well, they're not as powerful as Anakin. This is basically like the first try, like an experiment, like messing around. You dumb fucking hoe. Like, it wasn't a person. These people were created by Anastasia, from what we know.
Yes.
It wasn't a person. It wasn't Darth Plagueis who made Anakin. That's not how it happened. Because Darth Plagueis was trying to control midichlorians and trying to be able to create or extend or end life essentially at will, because of those dark manipulations in the Force, because they were going so far down that path, the Force responded and created Anakin Skywalker. This wasn't Plagueis making somebody. This was the Force saw what was going on in the galaxy and what was going on with the Force or with these people trying to manipulate the Force and said, no, fuck you. We are going to make Anakin to bring balance.
And it eventually did.
It did.
Till the Disney
And
trilogy.
what is the Force's gender, Ryan?
Obviously male.
Makes sense. Because it brings balance. It fixes
Well, it
things.
was thinking ahead, too. It was planning and thinking ahead.
There is a part of this same Leslie Headland interview at the end where she talks about how the problem with Jedi is that they need to embrace the Sith, and that's how they get balance. That if they embrace that Sith ideology, they will reach balance within the Force of essentially light side and dark side within themselves.
And that is, again, another retarded interpretation because think about that. Do you think that this is what George Lucas, this entire thing that he was talking about, you think this is what George Lucas meant by balance in the Force? That in the world there's an equal number of like good and evil things that exist at the same time? Do you think that's what fucking balance means? It's not. Balance in Star Wars, balance in the Force is when you are pure, not chaos, not chaotic, not evil. It's when you're pure. The dark side is impure. The dark side throws you out of balance. And George Lucas has said this time and time again. And I don't know why fucking maybe he was too busy butt fucking a dog or whatever Dave Filoni does in his spare time. But maybe he was too busy doing that instead of listening to George Lucas when he worked for him. Because Dave Filoni should have been the one consulting on all of these things, that signed off on all of these things.
And Leslie said Pablo Hidalgo's the guy she goes to.
Well, Filoni
he worked there too.
But here's the thing, Freddie Prinze, do you remember that retarded rant he went on when he was like, that's balance, 2 and 2, balance in the Force.
Bro.
Because he's retarded. He said he learned that from Dave Filoni as well. So it wouldn't be a surprise if Dave Filoni passed that on to Leslie Headland's dumbass. That is not balance. That's not the goal for the Jedi, is for there to be an equal amount of light side and dark side in the world, an equal amount of good and evil. Go fuck yourself.
The way you
does
explain it, Ryan, makes me feel
does
like
have
it's an
this.
allegory for San Francisco right now.
It does explain a lot about the show, though, because people were on about when he says, well, you may call me Sith. And people are like, oh, he's a Knight of Ren. No, what she means is he doesn't perceive himself as a Sith. He doesn't perceive himself as evil. And when he's actually saying to Osha that you need to embrace your emotion and everything, he's just drawing her the other half. So he's making her balanced. He's making her whole rather than having to cut herself off from half of the universe. I think that's how Leslie sees the Force. And which is why she doesn't get the good and evil sides of it, because she thinks that the Jedi are evil, essentially, because they're cutting themselves off from half of humanity.
Want to put that?
Because we decided to cast fraternal twins, not just because Leia and Loren were so great, but I actually auditioned several identical twins, and it was, I cut them together in making the decision. And with identical twins, it was very difficult to tell them apart. No.
My favorite quote of all time.
Oh my god.
That's the
These
point.
two things look alike. I don't understand. I can't tell them apart. Fuck off. That's
You
retarded.
think that like fraternal twins grow up to become identical twins?
It's
I
why
love
when May
Star
runs
Wars.
in and Sol goes, Osha, it's even more stupid because now they've got an entirely different face and she did it deliberately.
Oh,
Well, you got it. Sometimes those Asians, they can be a little racist, and they say all those brown people look seems real here. So
all
not
right.
too far off the mark.
So the Youngling
We've
Protective Service.
We've had multiple scenes within this show, and the entire show is based on this premise that they look exactly this fucking same. Holy shit.
Like you hired one
You're the
actress to play two
showrunner.
parts. Okay. Yeah. So the Youngling Protective Services break into the lesbian Space Witch encampment that's on fire, that's made of stone. And they want to de-escalate the situation, but then lesbian horny Space Witch starts to go into attack formation against Master Torben. He lights his yellow lightsaber. He yellowed. And then May comes out and Sol thinks it's Osha, which I don't know why, because
the
they
plot
don't.
of the show is that they look the same. Yes.
They look the same, yes, but I know. But they didn't want to get identical twins because they look too much alike.
Total sense.
Oh my
makes
God, it gets dumber when you
Confused
say it out loud.
sense. It really does.
And then Mother Anastasia turns into a demon smoke monster without saying anything. Sol lights his lightsaber. Like it goes slow-mo here.
It's
Like, look at this.
And then he looks.
If I was him, I'd do the
And
same thing.
look, she's gonna disintegrate her child. It looks like she's murdering Kid
Well,
right
this is
here.
Thanos.
Disintegrating.
Oh.
He sees it, and
He made the
obviously,
right decision.
Yes.
what'd you do? I would stab the person that looks like a demon.
Yeah.
clearly Anastasia in this situation, as soon as Coral starts with an aggressive motion, Torben defensively ignites his lightsaber.
Yes.
Anastasia should have at that point said, "Stop! This is not going to happen. Not on my watch. Osha, you are free to go. May, come here. Let's just that's what she should have done instead of transforming into a demonic force presence."
Okay, so then he stabs the fart cloud, and then she reappears over the lightsaber. When you show later that angry lesbian horny space witch can fly around as like a.
I think the implication.
What happened to her?
He stabbed her as she was still in the middle of transforming.
I think that's the implication, but
Like,
it's still
brought her
dumb
back.
as fuck.
Yeah, well, it's worse when this line would have literally solved all problems if she just said it first.
She led with that.
Like I said, all this could be avoided if they just talk to each other, which is the most retarded
like
thing ever.
David Koresh said we were coming out. We were coming out of the building.
This is like someone, going into an intense standoff, pulling out a gun, getting shot for it, and said, I was going to surrender. Why'd you pull out the gun, you retard?
It had my surrender flag on it. It was on my
I was gonna
gun.
shoot it. It was gonna be a white flag that popped out.
The scene that pissed me off the most of this entire episode is like
Tell me
5
about it.
minutes before this or whatever, when they're talking, and they had the audacity for Anastasia to say, "Someday the Jedi's noble intentions will get each and every one of you in the galaxy killed." Fuck you. What a stupid, retarded, insane thing to say. She has no way of like any knowledge that something like that could happen or would happen.
Come on.
It's just simply another thing for them to try to put a feather in their cap, be like, well, clearly, look, the Jedi are gonna lose, don't you know? That means they're fucking the bad. They're making mistakes. They're bad, actually.
What? I don't think that's even a negative, though. Like, your noble intentions. In other words, she's going, you're too good for this world. You're too moral to survive, and people will take advantage of you. I'm not sure how that's a dig.
And that's not why they
Part
failed.
that's part of a job interview at Disney, by the way.
That's not why they failed. And when they failed is because of their hubris. They were too comfortable. That's not what they're trying to say in this show. So that doesn't even make sense.
Personally, I think they just came up with this line to tie it all together.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They tie me
this is-
together to the ceiling.
Well, they
They
could
all
tie
look
me up
like
and let that
they've-
woman touch me. Why not?
What are you
They look
saying,
like
Chrissy?
they fell asleep at like a frat party and different people drew on their faces, especially the other one, the horns. Looks like Sharpie. It looks like there's about to be like a little dong on her cheek.
Yeah.
And May's
Yeah.
got a little tiny
get a
one
picture
rather
of
than
it.
one over like most of her face.
I like their laser pointer
Sure.
arrows too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't hit anybody.
Iridonian Zabrak face markings, yeah.
Do you remember the line in the thing where they're talking about her mark, and she says, "I get this mark because I'm going to be the leader of the tribe," and then Trinity goes, "How are you going to do that? You're a child." It's like, children grow up, they become adults, and then they can lead things. Like, why is this a complex idea for you?
But like, it actually sounded like they were gonna let the 9-year-old kids actually lead them, because that's what the mother does when she's like, "Your sister wants to leave. Now go on a killing rampage. Do what you want." And
Rile everyone up.
yeah,
They'd be
honestly
just as well off. Like,
I feel like there should be another flashback that has somebody just explaining to us what's going on, because this flashback is supposed to be the moment where it's the penultimate episode. You explain all the hidden, open the mystery boxes and all that stuff, but you open the mystery box, and as usual, nothing's in it. There's nothing to explain. It's literally the same thing we saw the third episode.
oh,
They
And
haven't
there
even
are dev
say.
commentary, like
There are
Russell
ants,
T.
so it's
Davis did with
important.
Doctor Who, and he said, "Now we have reached complete narrative collapse." Like midway through his own episode.
It's funny because when I was reacting to this with the guys on EFAP for EFAP TV, in episode 3, we were halfway through episode 3, the first flashback episode, and it was just so fucking boring. And I made a joke at the time. I'm like, how funny is it going to be if in episode 6 we get this entire thing again just from May's perspective? I was making a joke, right? I didn't think it was actually going to happen. And in episode 7, it ends up fucking happening. And they reveal so little that wasn't known or implied to us before.
That could have been
the things. Sorry.
that could have been revealed in the last episode towards the end in 5 minutes.
And the things that were revealed are unbelievably stupid. Like, there's a scene of all the witches dead on the ground, and you're thinking, holy crap, what could have happened to kill all the witches? Something really serious must have happened.
They forced too hard.
And then this is the reveal of how they died, and I was, what?
Oh my god, that was so retarded.
I don't even
They're
really
dead?
understand what's
I
happening.
don't understand how they died. So either did she like?
I thought they passed out.
It was like she hung up on them.
Well, the audio description says lifeless bodies, right?
Yeah. Like maybe they are all still alive. That would make more sense than them all dying from that. But I just don't get it. To waste also the first time we get to see a Wookiee with a lightsaber actually fighting, and what a fucking waste. The choreography was so stupid, but also there's only a handful of things that the normie audience would know about Wookiees. One of them is they have the strength to rip someone's fucking arm straight off their fucking body. They're incredibly strong. So the idea that any of the humans that are with him, regardless if they're using force enhancement, because so is Kalnaka, the fact that they could go and actually physically brawl with him in a way for any length of time is crazy.
Yep.
Oh, not only that, Ryan. At one point, Torben holds Kalnaka's lightsaber
with
at bay
no
in a
leverage.
leverage in a reverse grip.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, come on.
He's probably using the force.
Yeah.
So's Kalnaka.
I'm trying to make sense of this, man.
You're
Come on.
trying to make sense.
Like,
One
throw
of
me
those
a
using the
bone.
farce.
Using the Force, if they actually used the Force in this show, a lot of problems would have been solved. If Ryan said, if they had gone and meditated and said, there's some form of force here. There's some kind of force here. I feel it. That could have avoided a lot of problems.
Yeah, like this grip, there's no way that he would be able to hold back Kelnaka's lightsaber. He has no fucking leverage.
Not only that, Kilnaka has him by the throat. He could just crush his skull or break his neck with his fist if Wookiees are that strong.
And there's cuts on his face. Wookiees tend to not use their claws. Oh, wait, he was being controlled.
It's so dumb.
And that's probably the explanation. That's the explanation is he's kind of holding back because he's possessed. So there's a little bit of him in there, but like nothing is suggested about that. We're just trying to make sense out of it.
Yeah.
And if we want to be really anal about it, I think Kanaka has a green lightsaber, so that means he's a Jedi Guardian. And the guy who wants to go harm is a yellow one, so that means he's a Jedi Sentinel. Yeah. See how miserable our lives are that we know.
Well, the thing is, Leslie Headland already gave an interview where she said, "Why did you choose the colors for the lightsabers?" And she said, "Aesthetically." That was the only. Yeah. And he
said, "I love the Star Wars."
The journalist said, "I spend hours at home trying to work out philosophical reasons why everyone's colors lightsaber is how they are." And she went, "No, it was just aesthetics. Whatever looked best in the moment."
Wow. Yep. I thought there was a reason, but now I'm at a loss.
Not for Leslie.
not anymore, right? Not anymore.
Well, this is why we talk about the lore, especially when they're about to go into a series and we can pretty much judge how shitty it's going to be with how they approach it, like Rings of Power and Acolyte and everything with Disney Star Wars. That's why it's important. But once the show gets going and they start just, raping lore, it's just on brand at this point with them.
That's been the interesting thing about this show. You watch the show and you're like, this is bad. But then you hear them talk about and explain it and why they made the decisions, and it gets worse. It's like every time they open up on an interview, no, just leave it to the fans. They'll make excuses.
Well, in the Mary Sue interview, she's like, something stupid. It's about a birthday. Okay, yeah, it is annoying that you moved his birthday so you could add him to this show. But what's more annoying is it's the guy that said there's no Sith in 1,000 years. That's what's annoying.
Whose species has a short lifespan.
Who is this ball sack face looking person?
Ball sack face.
Yeah. One of the witches.
It's a Balchinian.
Yeah, baby.
A Balchinian. Holy shit.
Old MIB joke.
Men in Black 2. Yep.
So Acolyte, really bad this week, guys.
One more to go.
One more episode to go.
Thanks.
Woo!
What could there be?
Nothing. Right. She put her helmet on.
Yeah, I keep underestimating how bad they're capable of being and how incompetent they are, because you would think you have such a short episode that not much can be achieved apart from Osha saying, "I am the Acolyte now," and flipping, and then they're going to end on a cliffhanger. Like, that's the.
Oh, but she said she wrapped everything up, Chad.
Yeah, exactly. And so maybe heaps of crap is going to happen, and it's all going to be even more stupid than that. And because they don't understand how the flow of time.
Well, like I said, the most logical answer is the most retarded one.
Yep,
it's a great show.
It's a great show. It's the worst thing ever made. Most damaging to the franchise? No, just the worst thing ever made.
I'm going to admit that Asian dude was in great shape.
If someone asked me going into episode 7 what is going to happen, and I tried to think of the most incompetent thing, I still would have given a more logical answer than what we got in actual episode.
So who's the master? Who's the master? Who's Smilo's master?
I think it's Horny.
There's
Mom.
only 2.
Horny.
It's the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Who's his master or former master?
It's got to be Horn Mom.
Like, it could be Coral. Like, Coral could be involved in it in some way still. Like, she is the one person that we saw turn into a smoke monster from Lost and not be in a pile of dead bodies.
Yep.
Right.
So she's out there somewhere, fucking just really mad.
Just teaching intersectional feminism.
Well, that's the issue.
The dark side of the force. Same thing. Yeah.
That would be the logical answer, but we've been surprised before.
True.
I think you'll find out that Camille was Leslie Headland's wife's apprentice at some point, and she was he was thrown out or felt betrayed and left, and then he joined up with the horny one from this episode, and that's where he learned her skills, which is why I can get people to be minds. But we know he's around for the second series, if there is one, because she said that after the fight scene, we were never going to see him again. But when they saw him on set in his uniform, they saw his arms, and basically everyone on staff got so horny for him they realized
Even
we
the
had to put him in the
lesbians.
series more. So they did episode 6.
So he made them all moist, which is the reason why they didn't kill the character.
They all went full Chrissy Mare.
Yeah.
She said to be a riot.
I do think that, like you said, I think Vernestra is going to be revealed to be Chymere's Jedi Master. I don't think she's Sith. I don't think she's like a secret Sith or whatever. But there might be something like fucked up that happened, you know, and maybe they had a confrontation or whatever.
Well, I mean, she's whipped him at some point, so something quite severe.
That's the implication with the back scar.
Back. Oh, yeah.
Because of the implication.
Because of the implication. Because
Lesbians
of the implication.
are violent.
They are.
Well,
Not that he would do anything.
No,
Just the
No.
implication.
not at all.
I need to do an Always Sunny rewatch now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Just
I'm
a
buying the
palate cleanser.
DVDs.
I got it all on physical media too. So
You have to because
Yes.
they've deleted all the blackface episodes.
they have. So
Like
They're-
from streamers, they have.
can you
From
watch them in
streamers,
Canada?
Because that's all the Lethal Weapon episodes.
The Lethal Weapon episodes are great.
that's great. Hey, we got a Captain America trailer.
Oh,
Yay!
Without Captain America. Let's take a look at it. This
This
is
trailer's very fucking meta.
yeah, okay. Very. Possibly the most expensive movie ever made from the MCU.
oh boy.
It's debatable at this point. It's definitely more than Endgame, maybe.
Oh,
Endgame costs a lot of money,
Wow.
by the way.
Jeez.
So,
Jesus help us.
but it's-
all.
What? How many reshoots? Reshoots? 4?
they reshot an entire movie. So it wasn't just a set of reshoots. They reshot the entire movie.
They
Now-
should re-release the first version as like a multiverse. You know.
Now,
They reshot basically the whole thing, a significant amount.
yeah,
of
there's
the movie.
some old stuff that
Right.
that-
Obviously, they needed a trailer to cobble together. Like, there's still some of the framework that exists still, but yeah.
Yeah, so this comes out in about what 7 or 8 months. They just finished. God, maybe they're not finished with the reshoots, or they just finished with
Really?
reshooting the
They
entire
did
thing.
finish
Yeah.
them, yeah.
So they have a lot of effects work to do, and they put together probably the most average, like cop procedural fucking trailer you could possibly imagine.
It really
there-
doesn't look interesting at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
It looks like
nothing
generic spy
interesting.
thriller.
Let's watch it.
Let's take a look.
Let's harm other people.
In Minecraft.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in. Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look. They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I.
So they decided to take the first like 15 seconds to address that William Hurt died and has been recast by Harrison Ford by making a mustache joke.
Yeah,
Maybe because Harrison Ford refused to wear a mustache. I don't know why they did that, but
Possible.
this is the same Marvel Studios that decided to not recast Chadwick Boseman when he died and instead make an entire movie trying to profit off sympathy for his death.
exploit
Right.
his death.
Wakanda forever,
Literally
you fucking
exploit it.
bigot.
And,
The other
and
issue, though,
by
is-
the way, if you look at the release of this, what $375 million is the rumored budget. I think it's more than that. It's releasing in February, which is a dead zone for movies, an absolute dead zone. This needs to make $1 billion, but you know what they're trying to replicate? Ryan knows what they're trying to replicate.
Wakanda forever!
Wakanda. They're trying to replicate Black Panther, which was released in February, made $1 billion. Big difference is Black Panther, character created by 2 Jewish men, was an actual character that was in the Avengers that all of us comic book fans read and loved and couldn't wait to see in a movie. We were fine with it. Now, how the movie turned out, really debatable. I would say it's really meh compared to like what we've seen, but hey, it's a huge hit. And it's something they can no longer do, by the way. It's just a single superhero and his origin and building up his very based world. Let's be real. Like they're pretty, they've got the
Used-
wall.
They used Trump
Isolationist.
immigration
Isolationist. Yeah.
Ethnocentric.
Yeah.
Bigots, really.
Bigots, really.
Yeah,
but
Black
like,
History
My
Month
kind of
drops.
people.
yeah, but they dropped it on Black History Month.
Oh,
So they're
That's why
trying to
February
replicate the
14th.
success here. And
Valentine's Day.
by doing that, by taking away a black man's mantle that second black character, second prominent black character for sure in the Marvel universe that everybody read and loved, and we love Falcon, and they could have made a Falcon movie and they could have just made him the head of the Avengers. No, they had to take, they didn't feel strong enough for that. So they had to give him the mantle of Captain America. Now, I hear the people now. They did it in the comics. Yes, they did. They did. And it was a massive fucking failure. It was a massive failure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that like, I think we'll get the same results. Let's take a look.
I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position. And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
I mean, why would that matter?
Work with me, Sam.
Like, if you would still, even in a superhero world, be obligated to obey the laws of your nation. So you can't just go around doing whatever you want anyway. So he would have to obey surely what the president said in the first place. Unless
he's not a tool of the government.
And didn't we have the Sokovia Accords and there was a whole like civil
war?
Dude,
he's broke. He's broke. He can't even get a credit card. Did you not see Falcon Winter Soldier?
No,
nobody did.
He can't even get credit.
Know how to use the internet.
I saw it.
Sadly, I did too.
He's black.
The bank wouldn't give them a loan.
Yeah.
Did Ryan say he can't have a loan because he's black?
No,
that's what they said in the show.
That was the plot. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the plot of fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Who wrote the show, Ryan?
I might have done some consulting work.
We'll show the world a better way forward.
Oh. Okay,
Hey,
so I didn't see that.
was.
That's Isaiah. That's the truth. That's the OG retconned Captain America that they tested the serum on first. So
Right, and that was the one who was
an
introduced
alias?
to us in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
yeah,
Right.
and he was in Falcon Winter Soldier, and yeah.
Should have called him Captain Tuskegee.
Hey,
Yeah, this looks like just another night in Baltimore. I don't know what's going on.
so
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
he has no superpowers.
That's
Yeah, no
impressive
super
shield.
strength.
Like he didn't get electrocuted.
There's Sabra. I wonder if they're going to put her in her costume, Brian.
Bro, there are people that are fucking furious about Sabra's inclusion because Sabra is like an Israeli character. And there are people that are very fucking pissed that are boycotting Marvel because they have an Israeli superhero.
Yeah. I mean, her costume is the Israeli flag. So I hope they go there. Me, for one, I want him to go there. I absolutely want him to go there because I want it to be comic book accurate.
Hamas character?
She has really curly hair. She has really curly hair, and
She's blue and white.
Yeah, I like the costume. I'm fine with that. Like, go for it, Marvel.
So this
Go for it,
hint of
baby.
blue is the only thing that they're
Yeah.
gonna have from her
That's supposed
costume.
to tell
That's
you.
gonna be it.
She might have a Star of David. I doubt they'll
Maybe
show
I
it.
highly
maybe the
doubt
ring.
that.
Maybe the ring is the Star of David.
He's
Maybe.
definitely involved in the.
They're never gonna
reshoot.
show it close up.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
I agree.
They almost went Willow here.
You're right. I'm not.
Very
I
meta.
fully expected him to say "I'm better," but instead they just showed him flying instead.
Well, just wait for the movie, you know.
Yeah.
There's no way he'd say he's better than Steve Rogers.
I
He
mean, that's
won't-
what
he
Willow
won't
did
actually say it.
with his daughter. They went, "Well, you're not him." She went, "No, you're not.
Do you
You're
think
better."
there's a
I'm like,
possibility that this is good? I'm still manning this movie. If he goes and says, "I'm not Steve Rogers. I'm not Captain America. I'm my own man,"
I'm
flies
Falcon.
off.
Well, I don't think
And
he's
he
not.
quits the
He's
thing.
not going to say I'm not Captain America. But
Right.
you could have it. You're right. I'm not.
I'm not.
But
Steve Rogers, yeah.
I'm inspired by him, and I'm learning from his example. And he'll probably do something like actually maybe to honor Steve Rogers, maybe actually. But
I think they should.
He's not going to say, "I'm not Captain America. I'm the Falcon." I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's definitely not.
Be the best
Well,
way.
the entire trailer was pretty inoffensive. It was very neutral in tone as it was.
It's very boring.
Boring.
What I've heard is they're basically going to try to fix things while working with what they have, which is just a freaking horrible philosophy. I say rip the freaking Band-Aid off at this point, but are they going to dial it down and show reverence to Captain America? Because they didn't do that in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. They did not. They completely dissed the character and made him look like naive and fucking stupid by the time it was over for anybody who watched it. By the way, this is a follow-up to that show, which was considered a bomb. Considering how much it cost. It cost like $200 million, $250 million to make. It was a total fucking disaster. And they greenlit this movie back then, Ryan. They greenlit this movie, I believe, shortly after Falcon and Winter Soldier, or even during it.
Like as the last episode came out or whatever. Like right around that time frame, yeah.
Were they huffing glue at the time? Like,
maybe.
How do you watch the reaction to that show and go, yeah, let's make a whole ass movie?
To be fair, the reaction to that show and the ratings for that show are probably like, if they got those ratings now, they'd probably piss themselves in joy.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, Call of Duty is there.
Oh, it's the Red Hulk.
There you go.
All right. I have a hot take on the Red Hulk.
Maybe
It's fucking stupid. I fucking hate the Red Hulk. I can't stand the Red Hulk.
It's red.
I hated it when it came out in comics. I was okay when it was still a mystery. I was like, okay, who's it gonna be? When we find out it was General Ross, I was like, that is the most retarded shit ever. Where did his mustache go? For one, Ross has a mustache and it goes away for some reason. It was so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. So I'm not the biggest fan of the Red Hulk, as you can see.
Why is he red?
That's my reaction. These
High
movies
blood
are aimed at the
high blood
mainstream
pressure
audience of normies. I'm a complete normie when it comes to anything like this. And I saw that. It's like, it doesn't make me excited or anything because I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I've been buying the comics and I don't know why the hell he's red either.
He's just even angrier.
No, there's a reason. I can't remember it. But
there's also the Red She-Hulk too.
Sunburned.
But I assumed it was a different Hulk.
I remember
it is a different Hulk.
It's a different, yeah. So
this is President Ross right here.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
President
I just
Ross.
spoiled the fucking movie for everybody. But
If you can't tell by the gray hair on his head.
Yeah. Dead giveaway.
I can't wait to see CGI Harrison Ford Hulk face. I also can't wait to watch the movie and see how little of a shit Harrison Ford gave throughout the entire thing.
You can read that in the video already.
They should have carried on the president from Secret Invasion, though, because they were trying to set him up as a bad guy in that anyway, and so it would have fit with this if he was suddenly going to be evil.
Created with a combination of cosmic and gamma radiation. Gundam. That's
cosmic energy.
I missed that episode.
I read it.
This one,
I read it and completely forgot it because it's been almost 2 decades. So
in this one, he's probably just going to take like some type of super soldier serum or something. That's my guess of what happens to him in this one. I don't know. That's probably what's going to happen.
Something simple, easy.
Okay. Just to clarify, I hate the idea of there being another Hulk. There's one Hulk. The Hulk was supposed to be completely fucking unique. I love the idea of, within the MCU, kind of borrowing from Ultimate Comics of like the Hulk came from them trying to replicate Captain America. We had the Abomination, like that's fine. But having another Hulk just makes the Hulk less special. It's just like having another Spider-Man. Makes Spider-Man less special. It just dilutes the product. Make another fucking superhero, give him another name, change him a little bit. I've always fucking hated that. I know it's part of comics, but Marvel used to like restrain from that. I'm fine with having, like, She-Hulk was fine because they made She-Hulk a good character. They made her work. They made her different.
She was a very different character.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was also very sexy.
Very sexy, and she kicked ass in the Fantastic Four. I remember reading that, and she took the Thing's place. I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to fucking read this book again. And that was 12-year-old me. And I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Child Gary.
That's right.
Started making videos before videos.
I did. I was making them on cassette. I was just like, I was audio
that's
versions. Yeah.
When I get that radio show.
Yeah.
Come around.
That's what my mom thinks I do. It's a Gundam. She's like, how's your radio show going?
Oh, that's cute.
At least your mother is proud of what you
That's
do.
awesome.
Oh, she has no idea.
My mother thinks I'm a total jackass.
Oh.
Your mother is right.
That is true.
Wow.
What?
Listen, it's the truth. I hang out with Ryan, for God's sakes.
I'm a
I hear
fucking
this-
jackass. I like.
Well,
He
you
says
are.
shit that would offend other people. I just giggle like a child.
Yes. So the
Get
Red Hulk
canceled.
is in it, and it's President Ross, which I hate so much of this. And it's gonna they're gonna try to do Dark Reign. If anybody remembers Dark Reign out there,
No, I don't.
fucking
No
that
way.
crossover
Do
that went
explain Dark Reign.
forever. Dark Reign was exactly what it was. It was the Dark Reign. So
It's the Dark Avengers.
it was brought in the Dark Avengers,
Right.
and Harry Osborn is
Not Black
the
Panther.
Iron
Iron Man.
Patriot, Iron
Oh, yeah, that's
Iron
right.
Patriot, Iron Man, and
But
you know,
Wolverine's son
I
is.
thought you meant it was some kind
Yeah.
of climate change thing.
no,
Like some nuclear fallout.
They
or
could never
something.
pull it off because Dakin isn't around. They
No.
don't have the rights for like Venom. That's a huge
Bullseye.
one.
Where's Bullseye? He's been part of
Exactly.
it. You know, yeah. And I have every crossover, and it fills a long box that weighs
know, I
60
got them
pounds.
too.
Yeah, dude,
Holy
it's-
shit, that's
Every
insane.
Dark Reign crossover fills a long box.
Like Dark
Wow.
Reign happened right after the good Civil War. When I say the good one, because the newest one's
No,
Yeah, Civil
no,
War
the
two
Good
was
Civil
bad.
War, and then there was Fear itself. That was another one that just went on way too long, dude.
and then we had Bucky as Captain America, which is the move they should have made. I
Should have
think,
made.
'cause There was a lot of good
The
stories there. in my opinion.
Brubaker run is
I mean-
fantastic. It's really good.
And what's annoying, like Bucky was so well set up in the MCU to take that mantle. He has
Yeah.
a redemption arc. He, fought with Steve Rogers and everything. He was the person to do
And
it.
the chrome suit, the kids would have loved the toys.
And then they decide, no, we got to skip him because there's
So-
a more diverse person to go with.
Yeah,
Well, we did
like,
have the Summer of Love.
I don't think any of us hate like Anthony Mackie as an actor. I think he's been a great Falcon.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
really liked him in Twisted Metal. I thought that was a fun series. I got nothing. Alter Carbon season 2 was fucking garbage, total garbage.
Yeah.
That was not his fault.
Yeah, that's
though.
not his fault.
That's not his fault, but he's not a lead actor. He's not a lead actor. He's not going to be able to carry this. Marvel announced something too quick, and they had to reshoot the thing. They're going to lose their ass on this movie, and it doesn't help anything, especially when you're going to win back so much goodwill just by a lot of people who just don't pay attention to this stuff. When Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, you're going to hear, oh man, you're going to hear fucking Campy, and all of them are going to say, Marvel's saved. MCU is saved. Here we go. Back on track. And they're going to follow that up, which I think is going to be great. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the movie. I just rewatched Deadpool 1 and 2. They're fucking great. They're really fun movies. So I hope they do something good. Unfortunately, guys, before we even get to Captain Black Falcon America, we get to Agatha. That'll be the thing they follow up Deadpool and Wolverine with. Agatha All Along.
The trailer's almost like fucking not even worth watching.
No, I would just watch.
it's
I would
not.
just go towards the end. Just skip towards the end. So
It does raise the question though, why half of this trailer is done setting up her in some kind of weird detective thing, which she immediately breaks out of in the first episode, presumably. So why waste that in your trailer?
yeah, so you're
Doesn't make
using
sense.
the WandaVision thing where you're going to riff on TV shows, and if there's no way this is going to be. Agatha Harkness is an old lady. And I don't know. Look, listen, I gave up on Marvel Comics 3 years ago, so I don't know what the fuck they've retconned now, and I don't count anything after Disney at this
You
point.
hung in up until 3 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, dude, barely. But dude, anything after like that crappy Secret Wars that's the end of the 616. That is the end when they brought in Miles Morales and all that shit. To me, that's the end. But honestly, Avengers versus X-Men was such garbage that kind of ended it for me. And that's when I still had the comic shop. I was like, this is fucking terrible.
Look at this
By the
cast
way,
right here.
Yeah,
she's,
look at the cast.
she's an old lady who babysat Franklin Richards. She's been in some really important comic books, including a great West Coast Avengers, drawn by the late Paul Smith. where Magneto comes down from fucking space and gets Wanda back, who's like catatonic and lifts an entire fucking house, and it's awesome. But yeah, she's an old fucking lady who looks like Aunt May. That's what she is. So they make this entire
not
character.
MCU Aunt May, by the way.
Not MCU Aunt May. Aunt May from the comic books.
Not Tom Holland Aunt May.
Not Marissa to Aunt May. No.
Got to make that distinction. I think that's an important distinction to make, to be honest with you. But if you would have just taken and riffed off of TV shows, that might have been a better route than doing Hocus Pocus with a gay kid.
Yeah.
By the way, you know who that is?
No.
That's one of Wanda's kids. That's Wiccan. That's
So
Wiccan.
the reason she like went through different multiverses and murdered a bunch of people is because of
the imaginary children that she murdered multiple civilizations. We don't really know. In multiple universes, kidnapped an entire town of men, women, and children where they couldn't even go to the bathroom. They were pissing and crapping their pants, and the kids were locked in the room. And then Monica Rambeau let go the evil Hitler-esque Wanda and said, "You have no idea. They'll never know what you've been through."
This is basically
for imaginary kids.
Menopausal craft.
So, yes, this is MCU. This is MCU. I would love to put the MCU to bed. I would love it, but they keep making it. So, okay,
Gary, that can be taken multiple ways. That line.
Well, it depends. It depends, to be honest with you. I mean, if it's Wasp, okay. No, I mean,
there was an entire scene in WandaVision that spelt out that everyone in that entire city was being tortured by living off magic. Was essentially you felt like you were starving and you could just about survive, but everything around you got worse and you degenerated. But instead of spending like the first minute and a half of this showing her as a detective, why didn't they put in that was her child? That's far more important. I didn't know that. Far more important information.
No, it's a character that kind of sucks. So.
Yeah, so
but it's the key to the entire plot, surely.
So the kids survived. I guess the dome coming down, the bubble going down. So the kids shoot out and they shoot into bodies of dying children. So two children who are right before death. They take over their body. That's why they're aged up. Right. So
the imaginary
children who were like
he's real and he's gay.
7 and 9, I think. Like, how old were they, Ryan, in WandaVision? I'm sure
they were
really young.
Were
super young. Yeah.
They were like 10 or younger-ish,
yeah.
right around there.
Not 16. Are now 10-year-olds in 16-year-old bodies.
This is getting very. She's a 1,000-year-old witch territory.
Yeah. So Wiccan is gay in the comics. And there's Wiccan and Speed, who are the children.
They recently had a wedding.
Well, he's like
they marry each other.
He's like normal gay in the comics, not like this kind of gay, right? Like jaw dropped.
Yeah, I think he's like normal
painted,
gay. Yes.
Like flaming.
In the comics, he's presented as a very normal human, like playing a superhero. Yes, who just happens to be gay, at least initially. I don't know where they took it. I honestly don't care. But Wiccan and Speed are there, so Speed's not in this story. Speed will be probably in another story. That would be my guess.
Maybe another Disney Plus series.
Another Disney Plus series. That might be a follow-up to this one. Well, I mean, that's the Young Avengers is definitely what they're setting up. I don't know if they're going to follow through with that, but that's Wiccan.
Was that canceled? Or
there was a big rumor that went around saying that, but I have no I didn't see any.
I don't think it's officially
backing it up.
Greenlit. They've hinted towards it, but that doesn't mean they're going to greenlight a movie or a show. That just might mean they introduce them in another movie, which would be my guess. Sure, yeah. Is the Young Avengers get introduced in like that 5th Avengers movie that they're going to try to get out of the way that was supposed to be Kang, which is
well, I thought they made it. They're all going to be middle-aged, like the middle-aged Avengers other team thing.
Have they recast Kang?
I thought they basically did away with all that. Yeah.
They've been awfully quiet about that.
They have.
They've been. Yeah, that's being swept under the table. You're right, Gundam.
They're just going to hire Jonathan Majors back.
They might.
Pull James Gunn. Because his performance was just so amazing.
So amazing.
Like he was in an off-Broadway fucking play, the way he took himself so fucking seriously.
All right. So yes, that's the whole premise. Disparu's right that they're not gonna go through the TV thing. They're gonna just absolutely get rid of that in the first episode. Then it's gonna turn into Hocus Pocus. Aubrey Plaza being in it's like a total waste because I like her.
I like Audrey Plaza a lot.
She's funny.
Aubrey Plaza.
And then we have Catherine Hahn. That's her name. Catherine Hahn. Recap. We can't play the whole. The song is 10 minutes long. Just go towards the end. Go towards the end when they talk about.
Go to the 8-minute mark.
Thank you.
This is only 3 minutes here.
Oh,
what the hell is this?
Go a little back further. Back.
Yeah, right there.
Right. Try right there.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain
Right
Marvel's
Go
black.
from there.
Turn up your volume.
I would suggest
I don't
you
even
don't turn it up at home.
Don't turn this up at home if you value your ears.
Tony Stark keeps bit the dust and every single Roman cry. They call out an air report that Batman guy is really short. Iron Man, he went and died, which made a bunch of virgins cry.
Ah ha ha, virgins cry, ha ha, because nerds are virgins in the basement. Get it? Because we're the cool people in Hollywood who are all relying on superhero films and backing all this shit, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, they love their fan base, don't they?
They totally do.
The reason it's so silly is because it's not like this was some niche thing. Avengers Endgame was literally the biggest movie in fucking history.
Right.
Yeah.
So the idea that, oh, look at how attached they got to this character because of the emotional journey that people went on through a decade of storytelling. How fucking embarrassing that these losers cried about that. But, no one's crying about anything you're doing now other than just because their eyes are fucking bleeding. No one's emotionally attached to any story or any character or anything that you're doing in the current iteration of the MCU. The fact that people were emotionally affected when Tony Stark said, "I am Iron Man," and snapped his fucking finger was because people truly cared about his character and the outcome of this story, which is something you don't have now.
Yep.
No,
and even these are nihilistic idiots that don't basically believe or care about anything. So
even in Endgame, which is a terrible movie, by the way. I mean, upon further review, it's got really good emotional moments that deliver setups from previous films. That's fine, but most of the movie makes no fucking sense and it's kind of garbage. And they fucking waste Hulk and make Hulk is a hippie and Thor is fat, and there's so many things to not. And Captain Marvel comes down and saves it. It's fuck this movie. But there's
like female convergence on the field of battle.
Yeah, that just like there's so much fucking cringe in it. But it's like it's understandable. It still has great moments, and waiting for all the superheroes to fight together. We were all waiting for that, and it was cool. It's really disappointing that Hulk was a fucking hippie and Thor was fat. Yeah. But it's what Ryan said is they'll never fucking equal that. They'll never equal that. And they shouldn't even try, to be honest with you. You're not going to find another Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man. It doesn't mean you don't recast Iron Man, which you need to do. So that's what there's nothing in Captain America 4 that's going to bring that type of emotion. There's no character in it that you care enough. If fucking Falcon dies at the end of that, you might feel a little sad because you're like, oh, Falcon died. Not Captain America died. Falcon died. And we like Falcon.
Sucks. Anyway.
Yeah. But there's no character to draw you in. That's why they had, recasting a major character like General Ross. I would have used Sam Elliott personally. I would have gone back to the Banner Hulk and used Sam Elliott. I think that would have been better. But because I like Sam Elliott in that movie.
Well, but if Harrison Ford gives a fuck, he's fucking awesome.
Yes.
Harrison Ford is amazing when he gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford doesn't give a fuck.
When's
the last time he actually gave a fuck?
He gave a fuck about Indiana Jones.
In the beginning.
He gave a fuck about that movie.
In the last one, did he?
He did. He wanted it back.
He cares more about Indiana Jones as like a character than probably any other character he's ever played.
Dude, 1923, he was great. He was great in 1923. Absolutely great in that show. I would rather have him go back and do that than this. I'm sure he was just a peach to be around during the entire film, the entire reshoots. And I'm sure he was like, you're just gonna use the scenes I did before, you sons of bitches. Where's my pot? That's pretty much.
He's like, listen, kid. I don't know how long you've been around this town. I don't even know your name. You kind of look like Billy D. Williams back in the day, but we're gonna do this in one shot, and then I'm gonna go smoke some peyote.
I'm gonna smoke some peyote. and bang Callista Flockhart, okay?
And I have a Cessna to go crash.
And I'm gonna crash my plane.
Yes.
I'm gonna try not to break my ankle going down these stairs.
Exactly.
But going back to the MCU thing, I think what it is, because we saw it with House of the Dragon. They came out about the fans. There was that guy had to go at people before it released. Then people liked it. He very quickly shut up.
Yeah,
These people would absolutely love the audience if they loved all of this stuff. They'd think it was amazing. And this is a lot like, well, you don't like me? Well, you're just all virgins anyway. I don't even care about your opinion. It's more like a self-defense tactic to preserve their own egos.
It is.
I agree. I do think that's what a lot of people in Hollywood and making this stuff, that's what they actually think about.
No, they still think that. They've never not stopped
both.
thinking that.
Yeah.
They've never stopped thinking that. And our retort should always be, oh, so your form of art is way more cooler and gets people laid. That might have worked 40 fucking years ago, maybe, but it doesn't work now because their form of art is shit. It's still all pretend. So your pretend is more serious than that makes you cooler and hipper. Well, that cool and hip indie scene is fucking dead thanks to Hollywood. You know?
They should look up what the Romans thought about actors. They were considered on
yes,
the same level of
prostitutes. They were considered prostitutes.
We should go back.
Yes.
Yes.
They had the right idea.
But you're not wrong, Shad. That attitude has never gone away. It's absolutely never gone away. They're just putting up with us right now. I'll never forget. Great. Bruce Campbell, Groovy Bruce, the king. I watched him do a Q&A at the Castro Theater back in 2019 for Evil Dead 2. And somebody asked him about his cameos in Spider-Man. Then they go, hey, you get, it's funny. This is before Doctor Strange Mom. They're all, you going to be in any superhero movies? He's all, probably not. He's all, let me tell you about those superhero movies. Producers hate them. They can't stand them. They're expensive. They're sucking all the oxygen out of the room, and the minute that trend is over, they will be glad to be rid of them. And I believe them. I absolutely believe them. It just went on for a long time.
They're just beating that dead horse,
Ryan, maybe we did. Ryan, those past the Superman costume. This just hit my head right now. What do you think of those Justice League International costumes in the Superman movie?
So I think Mr. Terrific looks great.
Yes.
Because that's actually what he's supposed to look like.
Yes.
The leather jacket look and everything. Bro, Green Lantern.
And Hawk Girl.
Green Lantern and Hawk Girl. I don't know exactly what they're thinking with that. Like, maybe, again, I do kind of hate judging set photos of costumes because who knows? Are they going to add like a lighting effect to Green Lantern? Like, how might that look? I don't fucking know. Just off what we saw on the set, it looks horrific.
It looks horrific. Remember the Shazam one? For the first Shazam movie, it looked horrific, and I think it looked fine in the movie. I was fine with it.
Exactly. Yeah, it did.
So that
once they put the post effects on
but
it.
They tend to redo that.
That looked like a troll with Green Lantern and Nathan Fillion. That looked like just a straight up troll. I'm like, this has to be a fake.
Maybe it's a flashback sequence where they're like, before Superman got to town, like, look at these fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
But Superman's supposed to be the first, dude. That's why
I know.
There shouldn't be any superheroes at all. It should be, but whatever. So Marvel is like they're on the precipice of a huge fucking win that they need with Fox characters, admittedly, but the pre-sales for Deadpool and Wolverine are crazy. For a rated R movie, they are fucking crazy. They're not as good as No Way Home, but they're like within the realm. They're in the same sphere, which is amazing, which is absolutely amazing. And rumor is Hugh Jackman's going to stay on, possibly for Secret Wars. Yeah.
Wow.
There's going to be I can't say everything, but there's a lot of fucking cameos in this. I don't know this for a fact. The only one I'm hoping for, Wesley Snipes is Blade, and Nicolas Cage is Ghost Rider. Yeah. I would fucking love that.
Hell yeah.
And not just some fucking scan. Not just scan, like Nicolas fucking Cage.
The costume.
In costume.
Also, Ben Affleck as Daredevil would be funny. Colin Farrell is like a bullseye or something.
That would be funny.
That'd be funny. Like all these would be great.
We need Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really, for the past 15
Jessica Alba
years
as the Invisible Woman.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Bring them all
the
back.
past 15 years, I've been begging them to do a fucking multiverse story where they have Chris Evans play the Human Torch. This is now your moment to make it the funniest thing it could possibly be.
Well, and the interesting fact is he was pretty damn good Johnny Storm.
He was. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's a better Johnny
He's
Storm
better.
than he is a Captain America, personally. Not that I dislike him as Captain America. I think he does a fine job, and I think he's good. But I thought he was great as Johnny Storm.
He plays way better as the
Silver Surfer being
comedic,
a man.
the comedic side character. Yeah.
Was that Gundam?
I support Silver Surfer being a man.
Oh, I do too.
Ooh.
I think we all do.
Put a pin in that one. I can't say anything about it yet, but remind me.
They'd
like-
be fools to get rid of Norrin Rad. That's like just a whole universe of stories.
Absolutely the worst decision. Like, you want to fuck your Fantastic Four movie before it comes out, you make a female Silver Surfer. That would have been like
turn her into Shallow.
If somebody asked me, is like, how do you fuck up a Fantastic Four movie? I would say, well, cast Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. But after that,
It's everywhere.
no, that's not as bad as this. I'd say, oh yeah, throw in a female Silver Surfer. Like, that would be the thing I would come up with, how you fuck it up. It is such a bad decision. So, audience, put a pin in that one. After Deadpool Wolverine, I'll tell you the story behind that.
You know,
Tell
you're
you the
talking about
story.
the cameos. You're talking about the cameos that might be in Deadpool Wolverine, and I hope they go with the obscure ones like David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. And Gary, you mentioned one that like brought it back to my memory because I'm not sure anyone saw that, but I did. The old Generation X
team.
Holy
It's got
crap!
It's got Banshee and Emma Frost.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was so bad.
it was so bad, but I was so happy to see it. I have the bootleg. I still have the bootleg.
They should bring back the Fantastic Four that never got released. The movie that got made. They should bring back the Fantastic Four from the early 2000s. I want all this stuff, every single one of them. And it could just be like Deadpool shows them as like bam, 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 bam,
So
and just kills off the entire.
Hey, do you guys remember Gifted?
Yes.
No? The X-Men
Yes, it was
show.
like it was
The
CW
X-Men
kind
show
of.
on Fox that ran
Yeah,
for
yeah,
2
yeah,
seasons
CW level.
with Polaris. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Gifted. God.
Yeah, he just shows up and goes.
Has the cuckoos in
Kills
it
them
and
all.
everything. Yeah, like it's got like it had moments in the beginning and then turned to shit. But yeah, it wasn't good. But completely forgotten. Remember Cloak and Dagger? Was on Freeform?
No.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. There's a Cloak and Dagger show on Freeform. These are all going to be fucking trivia questions like most of MCU Phase 4 and 5 after this too. Did you know there was a Werewolf by Night show on D+? People are going to totally forget because most people didn't watch it. So the MCU is still here. It's it just won't fucking die. I hope it will soon. But we still, I keep forgetting, we still have Ironheart. Ironheart's out there,
No way.
which is
I
done.
forgot about it.
It's done.
How long
The
have they
show-
been sitting on that?
I think almost 2
2
years at this point.
2 years. Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are
You
they,
know
are
what?
they gonna like release it in the middle of the night and walk away from it? I mean, what's the
Here's their
plan?
thought process. I can tell you exactly what it is. Is they
I'm
know it's
all
shit.
ears.
They know it's shit, and they're like, let's get a couple wins under our belt before we release this. And it makes business-wise like they have to release it. Now, I would find a way to not release it, but they have
Couldn't
to
they do
because
the tax write-off thing?
no,
Yeah.
because they're painted in the. Look what
They
happened.
can't.
They
We
can't.
talked about this. They are too invested in the identity politics, diversity, and representation. They are too proud to come out and say, look at all the young black actors we have in this. Look at our young Latina Snow White and Rachel Zegler that we're so proud of. You can't come out and say that shit and then pull the Uno reverse card, because then the only people that actually are supporting you, which isn't very many people,
Twitter.
are going to go fucking ballistic on you. And it's also no guarantee at all that the people who are hating it right now are going to come back and support you.
Exactly. I mean, look
The
look
way
what,
around
look at
that,
the
though,
look at
you
the
could
crap.
just keep delaying it, and
You-
it would eventually get
You
lost
could
to the
kick
sands of
now.
time.
Now, see that. That's a really good passive aggressive, very Hollywood way of dealing
I'm
with
British.
stuff.
It's my
Yes.
specialty.
Yes. No. I think that would be actually genius. It's the Ryan Johnson trilogy, right? Oh, it's
Yep.
still coming. He'll be
Working on it.
in hospice going, I'm working on it. Yes. With my colostomy bag, you know.
What's that? Dominique Thorne? Is that her name? What's the actress's name?
Yeah, I think that's it.
She's going to be in her fucking 30s before this
I
thing
know.
comes out.
Who's going to be older, the kids from Stranger Things or the girl from
Oh,
Ironheart?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Dude, they're taking an
A
entire
question that Drake typically asks, but yeah.
So Stranger Things season 5's taking one solid year of principal photography.
Damn.
That's insane.
Wow.
It sounds like every episode is going to be the length of those last couple episodes of season 4.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Hour and a
Each one's
half
gonna
was
be a movie.
penultimate, and 2 hours 17 minutes was the last episode.
It's gonna be an epic freaking finale.
I can't.
As long as it's good, you know.
As long as it's good.
We'll see.
I think next year. Upon further review, I might have been a little harsh on season 3. Haven't changed my mind on season 2 at all.
Season 3, episode 7, trash. Where
I
she goes off with the little scampery.
No, that's 2.
That's season 2.
Yeah.
I think season 2 is the weakest. I like season 3 better.
What's season 3?
The mall.
Like-
They're fighting in the mall with the Russians.
Oh,
and
right.
stuff.
With the okay.
Yeah,
I like
I
season
liked
3 better.
it.
Season 2 just really feels
Yuri,
like
yeah.
a rehash.
It is.
You know,
They didn't know what the
really just
fuck to
feels like a
do.
rehash.
They're like, holy shit, we got a season 2. And it was a massive hit. Fuck. All right. So real quick, let's talk about some Rings of Power.
Right.
The Hollywood stuff gets saved for, we've got some diversity news. We have some news and diversity that will be on the Rumble bonus hour, but we're going to talk about the Rings of Power real quick because they just can't, they can't catch a break.
We need to talk about House of the Dragon on the Rumble hour too.
Okay.
You know, just
And how
before
fucking
you-
awesome it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we start on it, some of the most difficult news I've had to accept about Rings of Power recently was was it Disparu? You shared this that the first 3 episodes are dropping at once.
That's fucking great. That is great.
No, it
okay.
isn't. No,
that's good for our
No,
schedule.
in the same day.
you're wrong. You're wrong. And I'll tell you why it's great because I'm selfish. All right. So,
But it's so much at the same
no, it's so much at the same time, but the finale was going to hit while I was in Peru. So I was going to have to make a fucking Rings of Power video while I'm in vacation in fucking Peru. And now I don't have to. Yes.
It's a total sign.
How am I supposed
they
to
have a
review the first
bad
episode
show,
and watch
man.
all 3 of them in one day
know.
before FNT?
Dude, I watched
Impossible.
was it did they premiere with 2 or 1?
2.
2.
It's 2.
I
In
drove
theaters,
I
it's
drove
in
to
theaters.
Waco. They didn't do a premiere anywhere near my house. So I had to drive to Waco, which was what, 3 hours, Garrett? 2 hours, 3
Yeah, it
hours?
was 3 hours for me and 3 hours for you. I think it was right in the middle.
Yeah. And to watch it in a theater and then drive back fucking stewing. I was so fucking angry when I walked out. I was just fucking steaming mad. The nice the cashier there was like, "Oh, what'd you think of the movie?" And I'm all, "It was the worst fucking thing I ever saw." And they go, "Oh no!" And I'm like, "It's all right." I've got 2.5 hours to think about it when I get home and do a live. I did a live stream in the middle of the night. I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're like, hey, we got another one of those virgins crying things going on.
Yeah.
It's so condensed crap that I need to do an episode by episode breakdown, and I have to stagger them in days. It's impossible. For
And
me
with
to get all
3?
3 done in
Oh.
one.
One less week of having to watch it though.
That is true.
Oh.
Yes. How many
My
episodes in the
question is-
season? 10?
There was 8 last year, right?
Just 8.
there was 8. So there's going to be
No, he's fine.
you can drive to Peru.
He always drives.
It's
the
not
boat.
advised.
I'm flying to Peru, and I'm going to be in 3 planes. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it.
What do you mean, like a plane inside a plane inside a plane, or just have 3 connecting flights?
I have 3 connecting flights.
I hate flying.
It's not a Russian plane.
Clarify,
The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power season 2 will be all about the villains. Yay!
Of course
Because
it will be.
we love the
their
moral
foreheads.
ambiguity of Tolkien, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, Sauron, an embodiment of evil, is basically the devil of their world. Yeah, let's find out how complicated and sympathetic he is. That's
Listen,
great.
Let's
Right.
find out what
Misunderstood.
mommy issues he has.
That's what it's. I mean, the start of the episode they said is going to be a whole montage which makes you pity Sauron. Which is
Oh,
Okay,
feel sorry for the King of Evil.
sympathy for the devil. Is that what they're going for here? See, this is why. Okay, this is being written by 2 Mormon kids, by the way. Let's just point that out. So,
hey, don't throw us all under that bus, Harry. It's not our fault.
I'm
They
working
also
towards
like
something here.
Vegemite, I heard.
Yeah. But they're supposed to be all wholesome and no good from bad, but they also work in Hollywood. So I'm thinking they're more Hollywood than Mormon. That's what I'm saying, Shad.
Okay.
I'm saying they're going to say whatever the fuck they need to say to keep their jobs. These are 2 guys who could not get a credited script for 10 years. They have a partial credit on Star Trek Beyond, a dog shit Star Trek movie. They have been involved in multiple projects, and they weren't good enough to get their name added to any of the bad. They worked for Bad Reboot for a decade. The producer, Lindsay Weber, was so fucking awful. Jar Jar Abrams was willing to let her go to Amazon. She's like, I got this big gig. He's like, we really hate to lose you. God, have fun. Thank God she's gone.
Congratulations.
Yes. And the people who got the rights and wanted to make this are all fucking gone. And the architect behind all this retardation is a Tolkien, which is very sad, but it's Simon. You know, so we're talking about the son of Christopher Tolkien, one of the greatest sons who ever lived, but his son, kind of an idiot. And the rest of the heirs are kind of an idiots, a bunch of fucking idiots who have been rich all their lives, and they're selling everything out. They're selling everything out Tolkien. They don't give a fuck about any of this. They want to compare a fucking troll to Mike Ehrmantraut. Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. That comes directly from Simon Tolkien, because he's the one who says, I want to make a story about Sauron that's like Walter White. That comes directly from Simon. I know that for a fact, by the way. So
he's just trying to save his family?
Sure. Whatever family that is.
Which, by the way, none of that translated into the show.
Well,
none of that translated into the show. It wasn't Walter White. It didn't resemble his story at all. Why? You're just saying words of, hey, this show's a popular show. It's about Walter White. It's like
Leslie Headland writing Acolyte. They don't know what they're doing. They're just saying, they're telling the people what they want to hear, and they're doing the best they can. They're just not very talented. They're not good. And they don't have access to most of the lore that you would need to make a decent second age show. So give me a couple of the highlights of this art. Is this the article you brought up, Disparu?
Well, this one was mainly for the title. The other one is the main meat of the
TV Insider
of what's important.
Okay,
the TV Insider one. There was another Collider one which had something interesting though, where they coming up with excuses for why the first one failed. And they're gone, we're really listening to the audience for this second series, and so it's going to be much faster paced because we're further along with the casting process this time. I like, they don't even seem to understand how stories work. The reason why it was so slow is because you hadn't hired enough actors to fill the roles that was required for a good story. It seems to be what they're going with.
Well, can I just interject before we jump onto that? I need a just bat for us Mormon writers. Because,
oh my God!
Hey, I'm not
we're not talking about them.
Gary, we gave you Battlestar Galactica, Dragonlance, Mistborn, and Stormlight, Ender's Game, the Maze Runner series. Okay, we also brought you Twilight, but look, we've done really good. Okay?
How dare you? He was trying to sneak it in. Did you see that?
He just tried to sneak it in. I knew he was doing that, by the way.
Hey, Dragonlance, come on!
Are 2 strikes against you.
Hey,
Chad.
the other strike is you got rid of polygamy, but you know.
Oh yeah, there's
How
that.
dare you?
How dare you?
With this article, I'd scroll down until the paragraph above the first picture, because it starts with a very interesting. That one starts with a very interesting sentence.
The plight of the orcs. Oh my God.
The plight of the orcs becomes more sympathetic in season 2. Fuck off! They're not sympathetic. They are a corruption of life. That's what they were made for. They were made for a mockery of life.
Yeah, because weren't the elves like Iluvatar's personal creatures, and so you're essentially perverting the will of God.
Morgoth, being the Discord in the Song of Creation and becoming what he was, wanted to make a mockery of life. Wanted his own. He was jealous. He's all the bad things. So because he's evil. You see, he's evil. He's evil. Now, even Tolkien said not everything starts out evil. No, it didn't. But then it becomes evil. And not just kind of evil or sympathetic or misunderstood, villain. And it's fucking evil. It's the devil. It's the devil. In fact, they seem downright gentle at times. They're certainly comically harmless in their makeup chairs and in season 1. On this dewy April morning, we watched as the last few orcs got their ears attached. One drank a smoothie to pass the time. That'll probably happen on camera too.
Is this fucking like written by Kamala Harris?
I think so.
A lot of this article is like this.
Unburdened by what has been.
The next kind of interesting thing is probably because I don't think they talk about World War One at that point.
Wait, they talk about World War One?
Oh yeah, one of the fight scenes is based on World War One.
Okay, so that's what you were talking about in your video about the trenches and shit.
Yes, they engage in trench warfare before the firearm was invented.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's a paragraph that starts the roots of the Corinth Halbrand. It's below a picture of an elf.
And what do you want to bet?
Yeah, the second paragraph. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. The roots of its current Halbrand form are explained in the season's brutal opening scene, in which showrunner J.D. Payne describes as an Ides of March-esque sequence that fellow showrunner Patrick McKay says will make you pity the Dark Lord, surrounded by hand-painted storyboard art and 3D models of sets. The showrunners explain the opener in vivid detail at the start of our 45-minute group interview with the pair in pure glee on their faces. What else is on their faces?
Well, they tried this for season 1. Remember when they all took them down to Oxford and there was a whole like YouTuber celebration and stuff, and they all came back and said we are confident in season 1 because they were so enthusiastic about Tolkien. Clearly got it in their soul. Absolutely, they're going for the same enthusiasm, convincing train, just without the "you're all evil."
Nerd of the Ring said that. Many others. The Professor. Remember the Professor. The professor of a college, of online college or whatever, who couldn't even get the dwarf, calls himself the Tolkien professor and didn't get the dwarves' beard things right. Now, I'm not a fucking expert. I'm not a scholar. I'm just a fucking fan. I knew that, you dipshit. They like our group, like you just said here, Disparu. Just love Tolkien. Dude, we need... will the super fans come back? I need the super fans to come back. They probably like House of the Dragon season 2, though, don't they, Ryan? At least one of them.
There don't have to be the same one who said some really retarded shit that we made fun of in that thing, and then people found her Instagram and realized she's like an influencer, and they asked her on a live, "Hey, when are you gonna watch? Are you liking Rings of Power?" And she's like, "Actually, I haven't got around to watching it yet. I usually only watch one show at a time, and I'm watching House of the Dragon, and I really like that, so I'll probably watch it later."
That's
a super fan.
That's a super fan.
Big token.
Well,
like they're a dime a dozen. You can find one of these guys anywhere. Just get another set of like 4 or 5 of these people.
Garrett, they were Harry Potter fans. She's a Harry Potter TikToker or whatever. Nothing wrong with it. But
I love Harry Potter, but like that's not
the marketing executives probably looked for. We need a bunch of diverse women who might be lesbians. Okay, let's see how many are in the Tolkien fandom. Which there are. Okay. They just didn't look in the right place, and Harry Potter's the same thing, right?
Yeah, let's bring them same silly version shit.
Fantasy, yeah.
But some of the influencers for other nations they're in Amazon's videos for loads of stuff. They keep bringing them back for different TV series to come and talk about it. So they're just kind of on the payroll at that point.
That's
There's
right.
not as many people in those countries. They're like, we've only got a couple we can reach out to.
I have a soft spot in my heart for the super fans because that's the first video I made in this office was about the super fans.
Yeah, man.
So it's
good times.
Had blank walls behind me.
They erased. They literally erased a guy with CGI off all the videos. And so there's just this blurry thing that walks along with the group. That was
Is it the guy
when they're walking into the castle?
Yeah,
when they're walking into the castle, there's a guy pissing, and there's somebody there with them, and they just don't ever address. They frame him out.
Yeah, it's weird.
I wonder what happened.
He got super hammered and was pissing everywhere.
Yeah. The guy pissing in the corner. And Jay Longbone is the one who, held Jay Longbone. She found that. That was fucking funny. Rings of Power, can't wait. August 29th, guys. August 29th, 3-episode debut. Woo! Woo!
I'm so excited.
Hey, you guys can get drunk. Fuck you. Shad can't, so Shad will know my pain.
I can't even drink to help me get through it, Gary.
He has to get high on life.
Yeah, I know.
Shad can't even have caffeine to stay awake.
Yeah, I can.
Wait,
just coffee. You can't have soda.
that's a misconception. We can drink Coke.
That's a weird misconception.
But it is. I know.
You sure?
But it's also they say we can't have McDonald's and other crap like that. It's just.
I've never heard that.
So you can have caffeine.
No, it's in like the movie. I think is it called? It's the one where SWAT or something. It's got I forget his name.
Colin Farrell.
Really?
Colin Farrell in it.
Is that in SWAT?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they're saying Mormons
Great
can't
theme
have
song.
can't have McDonald's. Or fast food.
So you can have caffeine.
Yeah, like in Coke and stuff. But like,
What about
Should
a
have
hot?
Coke?
What about a hot caffeinated beverage? Can you have that?
yeah. Oh, you mean coffee? No. So
Yeah.
coffee and tea is a no.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
well,
that's
coffee
okay.
and tea is no. It's
Any kind of
There's a lot of
stimulant.
different weird things going on. That's why we
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah. It's tea, coffee, alcohol.
Coffee's really good
smoking.
though.
You can't have coffee, but you can read the book Twilight. I don't get you guys.
That
Not
makes
only
no
that-
fucking
Oh my
sense.
God.
Currently, we can write it, and I enjoy it anyway. So screw you. You brought it up that time, Garrett. That's your fault.
I'm just pointing out your flaws.
What's
Wait,
the writer's name? Stephanie
Garrett.
something, yeah.
Stephanie Myers.
Stephanie
Battlestar
Myers, yeah.
Galactica.
Probably a repressed
Dragon
Mormon
Land.
Wait a minute though.
Please.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, Mistborn.
Good. Hey, great.
Stormlight Archive.
Awesome.
Ender's Game.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Orson
And
Scott
then just
Card.
don't include
I like
the
Orson Scott
Twilight.
Card. Battlestar Galactica is the shit.
When men write
is.
stories, they tend to be better too. So.
Yes.
So you just
Oh,
say
he's
all of
not
those
wrong.
and then stop before you get to Twilight. And
Before
then
we
you
get
don't
to-
have to you could just keep those inside.
Before we get to soups. Boogie. What's going on with like?
Oh my god!
I will admit.
dude.
Somewhere I thought you were going
I
next.
did not know you were going there.
That was a
Boogie.
segue.
This is the only time I've ever been
2988.
interested in Boogie. But, like, I've never watched a second of his fucking channel. I just know about him from other
Ryan, you
people.
want to take it away?
Gundam
Yeah, I
knows
watched-
better
Me?
than me, I'm sure. But go ahead.
Gundam?
Gundam.
Oh, Gundam, please.
I've been kind of unplugging from the internet, but
Good
what
for you.
little I know, Boogie started selling his own coin called Fetty Coin. It was a meme coin that was based on Andrew Tate's daddy coin. And the whole premise of the coin is you will lose money and you'll be a fat piece of shit. Something like that. That's literally the marketing. Like, I'm not even
He
joking.
advertised it in a video. He's like, do you want to be a broke boy like me? If you want to be a broke sack of shit and lose all your money on crypto, buy this coin. That
And
was
he-
like his pitch for it. Because
And they paid him.
famously lost like $250,000.
They lost $3 million.
crypto.
Wow.
He ended up making like what 10,000 from
5,000
the-
up front, the extra 5 at the end after the
but guys,
campaign.
This is only the first chapter in what's happened recently.
Oh, yes.
You know what's happened next?
Then the bookster gets exposed for not having cancer or something.
All right,
Yes.
it hasn't been proven, but it looks really bad.
Listen,
where he was on a
Boogie
live
is
stream.
massive compulsive liar about everything about
Yeah.
his entire fucking life. Okay, so the idea that he would lie about cancer is like as little of a stretch as you could possibly imagine.
I agree.
Well, it's
ahead.
come
He was-
out. So it was on a live stream, and I think Destiny called him out on it live, where he has a disease that sounds very similar to a type of blood cancer, and they accuse Boogie of misunderstanding the two. And when he got the diagnosis of this, whatever sounded similar to cancer, that he jumped on it, made a video, and then they're accusing him that he learnt later that it's not actually cancer and he never corrected it. And so then they railed him and tried to get him to show his medical records to prove that he has cancer. And he wouldn't do it. And then
Mr.
they said,
Metaphor's
show it
in the
to him in
mix.
private.
Oh boy.
Show it to Keemstar in private.
Mhm.
And he still wouldn't do it. Then they started offering him money and the pot just kept going up, and they kept giving like better faith ways for him to try and prove that he has it. Like, look, you get
It got up
blur
to
out.
80K.
The number got
And
up
it
to
got up-
$60,000.
No, it was
No,
80K.
higher.
Holy
Higher.
Is it higher than that? Oh,
Yeah.
I missed those ones. Yeah,
But-
but a dude that needs money, that did $10,000 for this shit coin, clearly needs money, won't take the money to reveal his.
His excuse, and
paperwork.
it's so lame. His excuse. He says,
I reveal everything else. This is the one thing I said I'll never reveal, and I'll just never do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. Next thing that will happen, because this is Boogie, and you heard it a little on that stream anyway, he's going to threaten to kill himself. He's going to imply that he's going to end his life because he doesn't have anything going on for him. Like, that's how Boogie is and always has been.
Yeah.
Where the rubber hit the road was when 2 years ago, Boogie announced that he had cancer, and he's been kind of operating off that premise the entire time. Well, then, even though he's been telling people he had cancer, his excuse for doing the crypto pump and dump was that he needed money to pay for a biopsy to confirm that he has cancer. Because, you know, I mean, I have it, guys. I already have it. But this biopsy, you know, it would give me, you know, there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance that maybe the markers are wrong in my blood. And this biopsy would just confirm it. So people started asking the question, if you've been telling people forever you have cancer, and now you're just going to do a bone marrow biopsy, do you really have cancer? Or like, why were you telling people that? That's what really started everything rolling.
And then it just got worse and worse.
God.
Every excuse that he gave felt so weak. And then they kept, because he has been so desperate for money, so desperate for attention, and that people are offering him, you know, and it just kept going. It started at like 20K and going up and up. And his excuse was that I've one shred of privacy left. That's the only thing I'm going to keep it. And the guy's gotten friggin' naked on stream. Yet, right? He has no dignity at all.
Yeah, he managed. He and others managed to do the South Park parody before the South Park parody came out, which was pretty funny. But the whole point of this, bringing this up, by the way, Jeremy brought this up on Twitter, who's not here. He's on assignment right now. That like everybody's talking about this and it's completely okay, but we are somehow destroying the sanctity of YouTube shitting on the Acolyte or talking about it honestly. Yes. Yes. Apparently we're destroying movie talk again, by the way, because sorry, folks, the collective internet has the collective memory of an ostrich for the most part.
And an angry message.
Probably, but we went through this. We talked about the Marvels. We were ruining movie talk. We talked about Last Jedi. We were ruining movie talk. We're ruining shill talk. That's what we're ruining. We are ruining shill talk, and good. But like,
aren't
this is
some of the shills also turning on the Acolyte as well. At this point?
Grace did.
Grace. Yeah, Grace and isn't Campia turning on it?
Well, there's only so much Acolyte you could take before you start to break down. I can attest to that.
Like, it is a testament to how bad it is that some of the most hardcore shills are actually breaking on it. It's like, wow, that is next
Same
level.
thing happened with Doctor Who. In that finale, everybody that liked it turned against it.
That's a Disney show. That's the pattern of like, with maybe a couple of exceptions, every Disney Marvel and every Disney Star Wars show. You start out, oh, it's great, it's wonderful. We get to that penultimate episode, and oh my God, it's shit. Remember Secret Invasion? People were liking Secret Invasion when it first started.
I just don't understand this, because what was extra shit about this episode where the other episodes prior to this weren't also shit? Like, how did
maybe it gives them an off ramp?
How did you get this like sudden awakening? Like, oh, this is bad. Like, no, it's always been
the
bad.
answers. What they enjoy, they will see what other people will go, well, this is terrible storytelling, and they'll just judge what's in front of them. But they will theorize and go, well, this clearly means that he's a Knight of Ren, or they come up with some complex lore reason that ties into this, and they really enjoy having that conversation. And then they find out the answer, like happened to the end of Doctor Who, which is, well, there isn't an answer. Like, wait, what? So I've spent the last 8 weeks talking about how great it was, and you lied to me, and so they hate it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is a great photo to sum up how I feel after each episode.
Yes, it's not a bad. Hey, she had a good take. Broken clocks right twice a day. Blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while.
Broken clock is right once a season.
Once a season.
The random crap she has said is just wild. Like her review of damn it, I can't remember the movie. Suicide Squad. Yeah, that was.
Dude, that was.
I might need to see
the last episode.
You have to see that
clarity.
Gundam. She obsesses about John Cena's package and then says,
she's like,
I
just really want to thank James Gunn for letting John Cena with his abs out and the little tidy whities on the beach. I just think that was great.
And she said, she said Starro killed too many diverse people.
Not enough white people died by Starro.
Even though they were like in a foreign country. Okay.
She's so desperate to pander and appear woke and things that she just doesn't.
Grace is absolutely a lolcow. Like there's no other explanation for her.
When she said, I hate the term MCU, I hate it, but we're at a point where it's undeniably true.
Undeniably true. All right, we're gonna get soups. Let's get to soups. Everybody doing okay?
Soups on.
Soups on.
Ooh, can I promo something?
Oh,
well,
yes,
for you,
quickly.
Technically,
yes.
It's the Nerdrotic Art Contest. So we're actually looking for some people to draw panels for the book that Gary has coming up. So to enter, we want to see 3 examples of Gary happy, angry, and confused. All entries should be sent to nerdroticart@gmail.com, and the contest will close Friday, August 16th at midnight Central Time. So if you need more information, just check the description below. And this could end up being in the book that Gary is writing. So yeah, check it out.
Check it out. Thank you. Ad reads may or may not return next week. It depends on we get a little glitch in the matrix worked out. Okay, so where was I? I have to find that window again.
Super chats.
Not Another Dime is gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. That's a lot of dimes. Hell, Not Another Dime. Thank you, and the members thank you, and you will get to see as your reward me react to the finale of The Acolyte and watch every episode of Rings of Power too. But the finale of The Acolyte this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central. Jesse,
tune in, watch his soul die.
Watch my soul die again. I mean, it's damned anyway, Gundam. So whatever.
Yeah, you know.
Jesse Spano, so excited for 50. Fake nerds ruin entertainment and people's lives. Self-proclaimed nerd, Lena Hidalgo, the horrible judge of Harris County / Houston, fumbled the ball hard with Hurricane Beryl, and the city is sitting without power for a week. May God and anime smite her. Is that it, like, I know a couple of days ago they didn't have power.
A fucking hurricane hit. Like, I don't know. Expect people out there like holding power lines up and shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
done badly.
It does suck. I know somebody who's in Houston who's going through it. She didn't have power for a couple days. It fucking sucks. But
yeah, when you got to repair infrastructure, I mean, that should take some time.
Yep,
it does. Yeah, it's like you can do it while the hurricane's there. It was just one of those super slow moving storms.
Yep, it just sat
there for a long time right over Houston.
You know what's weird?
That's what happened in 2017.
We didn't get a drop of rain from it. Not a single drop of rain from it.
No, I didn't get any.
Yeah, completely missed us.
It was a Cat 1, right? So it wasn't like the most crazy.
Did you get
wind,
some comics? Because I
did.
Dude, it was sunny, and it did not a drop of rain that day over here.
Aren't you on the complete other side of the state?
No.
No, we're not that far. A couple hundred miles
you guys
away.
like just north hours.
We didn't get like any strand of the hurricane or anything. We saw some clouds.
Yeah, I mean, I got
the
rain,
projection of it
like
was right
Monday
through
and some a little bit today.
We got more a couple days after. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $49.99. My episode 7 synopsis. Soul, aka Jedi Master Grooming. Wow. That's funny.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Oh no. Jedi Master Grooming. That's good. I might use that. While trying to get 72 virgins, blows up a temple belonging to a different sect of his own religion, drops a gay girl to her death, and then abducts little lesbo-catan. Hashtag headlamp fuel can melt rock beams. Thank you very much.
That did remind me of one of the dumbest parts in that episode.
When Soul's trying to hold up both bridges.
Holds up the bridges instead of just grabbing
the children. That was my first thought. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
You can make the same argument about Yoda in episode 2 in the battle instead of grabbing Obi-Wan and Anakin and stuff like that. I don't like. It is stupid. I wish they hadn't set it up like that. They could set it up a way that would be way fucking better than him to look that dumb by just not pulling the kids out. But the fact that people are so mad that he chose to save Osha is ridiculous. If you can't, you chose a retarded way to try to hold them both up. But if you couldn't do that and it wasn't working, at least try to save one of them.
Yeah,
maybe the one that didn't just try to kill the other one might be a good idea.
Ryan's on it. I kind of agree. You save the kid that's less problematic.
Yeah.
Sophie's choice.
Not gonna be a murdering psychopath.
Every parent, when you're like driving over a bridge and you have those weird intrusive thoughts, oh my God, what would happen if the bridge collapsed and we'd fall in the water? What would I do? You got your priority, kids, you know? You got your list of who you get out first. Come on.
This is a man speaking from experience. He's thought about it.
He does it in every room he's in.
Daniel Zamansky for 150 shekels. Thank you very much. If Disney truly want to diversify their writers' rooms, they should consider hiring a writer that isn't retarded. Yes.
Yeah. It's tough for them because they are also retarded. So it just.
Well, that's the point. It's like maybe bring in somebody who's not retarded. That might diversify it a little bit. Michael Rial for $49.99. What's worse, Acolyte Season 1 or Rings of Power Season 1? Big up, everyone on the panel. Cheers. Ooh,
that's tough.
Oh, man.
Rings of Power is worse.
I'm going to say Rings of Power.
Yeah, Rings of Power because Acolyte's so far down the line, I don't even consider it Star Wars anymore. It's just its own stupid show. It's whatever. But Rings of Power, they really tried to make Tolkien a whole nother thing.
Disparu?
I think it depends what you judge it on. If it's damage to lore, then Rings of Power. If it's bad writing and characters, I think it would be Acolyte. Because the characters in the Acolyte don't even make sense from 1 second to the next. They're like entirely different people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, good point.
Eric Sheedlow for 50. Hey, Jerry, son of Tardo, take brain meds so can talk like Big Boy. Been watching TOS since 1977, just like Shulu's scanner, angled so he can see into it. Care and love for craft. Hollywood pedos can't do this. Hail chat and fellow boats. Lucking in, yay. That's good.
Thank you, Tardo.
Thank you, Tardo. Half-shaved bridge kitten. What the fuck? What? For 50.
Hanging out on a bridge that looks all fucked up. What drug have you done in your life? You had to have seen like a fucked up looking cat under a bridge at some point.
Ryan,
You know, it's got like hair sticking out of her hair.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, but I was so fucking high, I barely remember it. So,
what did you say, Gundam?
It's just so out there. You're like, it just goes to just such dark places every time. You never seen a fucked up kitten under a bridge? I'm like, no.
I've seen like dead kittens, but yeah.
Ryan just says it like it's a matter of fact. Like, yeah, that's just common. What are you talking about?
It's a part of growing up. Don't be a homo, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I just like when you read that name off, I could totally envision the
absolute worst thing.
What?
I really want to know what happened to Ryan when he was a kid. I do. I'm fascinated about this.
I've been rewatching Dexter lately. I think something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. James Remar is in that. It started out as such a good show.
Ray Stevenson is in that.
Yes, he is. Police trying to kidnap adolescent virgins, brainwashing children, abandon fellow coworkers, break into lesbian homes, murder resisting parents, not report any mission, and hide the info from leadership. Are we sure this is a fictional show? Hayden. Right what you know. Hayden 75, who's got his own channel now. Hayden. Hayden Wayne, what's up for 50? I feel it's my YouTube duty to remind everyone that it isn't just a planet with a cult of lesbian space witches. There is one man living with them in disguise as a woman. I've been watching this show, but only to talk about it on YouTube. Funniest Star Wars yet. Yes, that man is a YouTuber, by the way.
Goodbye monetization.
See ya. How we doing on that? Do we know?
It looks good to me, but it's usually after the.
It's
episode.
usually like by
afterwards.
By Monday, we usually if we make it past Monday, we're good. We're good.
We need to say that is a gorgeous woman that played that role in
It
Star
was
Wars.
a
It also happens to be
absolutely
a YouTuber.
Yes.
Very
Sure.
tantalizing female form.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, I don't know.
Barely
what caused
see the Adam's apple.
Put away the Vegemite.
No, I don't want to see that.
Oh, he did die. So supposedly.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Nape, 2 parts for 50. Star Wars fans should unite and start a crowdfunding campaign to buy Lucasfilm from Disney. That would take a long time. Gather enough money to make them obligated to their shareholders to sell it. Well, it helps the shareholders need to hold them accountable. That's kind of a problem. Can't be worth that much now anyway. Still is worth a lot of money. Shareholders fuck themselves by keeping Iger in, and you get what you deserve at this point. Stock is down. It was up to 110, right? At one point. After the Nelson Peltz thing, it's down. Yesterday it was at 96.
Like 96. It's at 97 now.
It's under 100. Whole stock
Nelson
market
cashed out though, made a profit.
Yeah. Whole stock market's taking a shit. And it's should be shocking to everybody because a couple of years ago they printed a bunch of fucking money. And now everybody's surprised inflation's up, even though our fearless leader claimed that Trump was the vice president and said there was no inflation. So
yes.
Okay.
Well, it's inevitable.
But he's doing fine, guys. He's
fix
fine.
it by
That's why it's
printing
called
more money
inflation.
and sending it to the Ukraine.
Right.
It's the inflation of the money supply.
Well, we'll
It's
print
directly
money
linked.
and pass out $600 checks, and then California on their own passed out checks, right? And you borrowed money, so you received money from yourself to make your future money worthless. Well done. Well done.
A lot of people got PlayStation 5s though with that money.
That's
so,
great.
you know.
And PlayStation, how's that doing right now? That console.
Those guys are millionaires.
Yeah, they're millionaires. Then they're gonna what? They're getting their ass kicked right now. I don't know.
Oh,
I have a
no,
PlayStation 5. I have a PlayStation.
The PlayStation
I haven't
kind
turned
of
it
sucks,
on.
but the guys selling it are really living large.
Hey, Ryan, I took my PlayStation 5 out of the box.
Oh.
Did you plug it in?
No, not yet.
Got it.
But it's out of the box. But it has a place. It has a place, and by the time I actually hook it up to my Atmos system and stuff, it'll probably be discontinued. But
so in 10 years,
Star Wars fans should rally to take back what has been stolen from them and either recreate it from the ground up or just end the bad stuff. YouTube censoring me. We will go to Orlando, but not alone. Call the banners. Call the banners. I'd say just make up your own stories.
Yeah.
Don't even make Star Wars stories and make another Star Wars.
Write your own stuff, man.
Go make another one. This one's done. It's cooked.
You kind of don't have the rights to it. So.
Yeah, and you got to have the rights to it too. Kaiser Soze, 1969, is gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Cantus on the Streamlabs side for $100. They demand we respect their beliefs and identities while blatantly refusing to respect our lore. Yes, respect is mutual. Respect is mutual. And we're not even, it's not even personal with us. It's like, hey, this story that we really like, we'd like to give you more money. Just respect it. And then when they don't, well, shit, we're not going to give you money, and this sucks. And they go racist. I go, oh, fine.
Shut up. What, you like this, you virgin?
Virgin racist.
You don't like it? Shut up, bigot.
Rick, 1662, was gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Thank you. Peter Garambe for 50 Canadian pesos. If Biggest Dickus isn't in Gladiator 2, then it isn't worth the watch. Biggest Dickus.
Wrong movie series.
He was a consul of Rome, you know. I agree. If he doesn't show up, it's historically inaccurate. Yeah, I fixed the Gladiator 2 trailer. It's on Twitter. I can't play it here because we'll get hit. But
you don't want Smash Mouth to copyright you?
I don't want Smash Mouth to copyright me. I think you know what's funny about that, Ryan? I'm sure you could tell by watching it. Zero effort went in. All I did was pick up.
And it kind of matched up.
And it matched up kind of okay. So I took the Smash Mouth video from Mystery Men because it had a little crowd noise in the beginning, and I just popped it right when the music started in the trailer, and I'm like, oh, the beats kind of match a little bit here. Okay, done. My work here is done.
I am done here.
I think I spent 7 minutes. 7 minutes on it. Noons for 184.99 Martian pesos. House of the Dragon spoiler. Well, plug your ears for those who don't want to hear it. When Maylis looked back at Rhaenys before she died, what do you think were the thoughts between the two of them? Big fan. Thank you for doing what you do. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You know,
love you.
This fucking sucks. Yeah.
Great episode.
Why'd you fucking bring me here, you whore?
I watched.
I don't know.
I watched it again last night. It's such a fucking banger.
It's fucking amazing.
God. And you look at
nice
that
when battles. It's nice when battles can not only fucking look cool and be badass or whatever, but also have a lot of
Emotional.
meaning to the plot.
Yes.
And like all these things that have been set up between all these different characters instead of just, hey, let's have a cool battle sequence.
exactly. And it was really cinematic. And you compare that to even the CG from the fucking Captain America trailer, and it which looks dog shit compared to House of the Dragon's dragon fight, which was
Bro, seeing the fucking blood come out of seeing like the blood coming out of Sunfire as he's like trying to regain his flight and like just spatter and melt and burn the people on the ground.
Well,
was
yeah,
awesome.
that was freaking brilliant. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $99.99. The whole point of audio description mode is so blind people can watch the show. So either it's literally a metal detector, as the audio description explicitly states. I did not know that.
That's hilarious.
Or Disney thinks their own show is so bad they have to lie to blind people about what's going on. Oh my God, did they call it a metal detector? No. Oh no.
That's pretty good.
Oh, Michael Dunia for 50. Disney have turned Star Wars into the CW, the network that never turned a profit. That song playing during the Acolyte episode 7 credits gave me flashbacks to Batwoman's "Oh, I'm a Woman."
I'm a woman.
Actually,
that was more catchy
That was more catchy
because we remember it.
That's right. Hail FNT in the 199. Thank you very much. Athelia on the second on the Streamlabs side for 40. I'll try to keep this one short so as not to give Gary a stroke. Thank you.
Somebody cares.
Somebody cares. Everyone have a great weekend. Gundam, always great to see you. Look at that.
God bless you.
We love Gundam. Kangarooster for 50. I believe the lesbian lantern used jet fuel circa 2001. That stuff destroys buildings.
Oh wow.
That's a Rumble rant.
All right.
They're over on Rumble.
God. Ugh. My sign is Cancer for 50. I got laid off and have been working hard for 7 months to. I got
the way you
laid.
phrased that, I thought it was completely different. It sounded super positive.
It did.
You're like, I got laid off.
When you start off with "I got laid," it sounds positive. That's where I'm going. It's like you got laid. Right on.
Oh no.
Hey,
No.
The reason Gary always sounds so disconnected when he reads these things is because the fucking words are so goddamn big. The font is so big on his computer.
His head has to turn as he's reading.
Yeah, I actually have to finish it over there. No, okay, we got to start this at a different tone. It's not
I'm
I
very
got
sorry, my
laid.
sinus cancer.
It's I got laid off. And I've been working hard for 7 months to find a job, support my family, and save my house. Meanwhile, Disney keeps burning money and ruining Star Wars. Give me the fucking pen. I'll write the Rey movie. I'll even throw in a Blade script. Please do. Sorry you got laid off. Hopefully you're still getting laid, though, which makes things easier.
First thing you have to do is identify as a woman. Then contact Kathleen Kennedy.
There you go. Then you can get your job. If we can sneak you in there like a Trojan,
The Trojan gay horse.
a Transian horse.
Apparently, it worked for a certain YouTuber. So, well,
This looks Asian. X-ray girl.
Sage Uzamika.
Thank you for 50. Keep up the good work. I love all your channels. Keep telling the truth and showing these companies are out of touch, completely out of touch. It's a bunch of know-nothing 25-year-old girls who just got out of college who are their marketing directors, taking orders from a bunch of 72-year-old fucking bankers who know jack shit. Kathleen Kennedy's fucking terrible. And she will be employed for at least 5. Nah. How old is she, Ryan? 72?
She's going to be there till she
She's
dies,
almost
dude.
80. She's like 77, 78.
Oh, 70.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, wait. No, she's like 71.
71.
Sorry.
So I'm thinking 75 she'll
Wow.
go, and then somebody
Yeesh.
much worse will come in and take over.
Oh God,
Yeah, she's 71.
It'll be
There's no
Leslie.
hope.
Did you see like Iger, the person that they've been floating out to take Iger's place as some head of television? Just looks like a fucking woke white woman from fucking LA. I mean, it's just
not narrowing it down.
you don't need to
Basically
narrow
all
it
of
down
television.
because she is the common denominator woke white woman from LA.
Just what we need.
Lowest common denominator. Fear the Tardo for 50. Hi, effing T. Tardo, no, not politics show, but Tardo find resident Joe bribing, no getting names right, scary. That sign brain no work, right, Reggie? Chaz, the emu guy, sex paid girl, special guest Mr. Gum Gum, and rest Tardo's friends. Lock it in, yay. Matthew Hammond for $45. Will Shad become a commentator for the Armored MMA fight? Oh, yeah. I saw that. Did you see that, Shad?
Yeah, I've seen that heaps of times. Like, so Armored MMA or something similar has been around for a while. Yeah, it's always hardcore. It's pretty cool stuff. Is this the one where the guy kicks him in the head? Oh, no, this is.
I didn't watch it, but yeah, I just wanted
Maybe
to
if they can get
know.
some guys who like look like they're in MMA shape. I mean, this looks a little.
I love that it's just in the middle of some random valley somewhere.
Yeah, why do
love
we
it,
need
yeah.
a ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Fuck this shit. I want maces. I want real swords. I want like somebody's gonna get stabbed. By the way,
He basically wants the
I could
Coliseum.
get
I
hurt.
want
the
more
fucking
of this.
Yeah, I want the Coliseum.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
we
I can
make-
barely see.
We
There
make prisoners fight for their
heaps of
freedom.
there's heaps of this stuff out there. Like a lot of
Oh.
guys get into this.
Gundam in the Gladiator 2 movie, they're doing the filling the Coliseum with water thing, right? To
That looks cool. I'm
to
not
do
gonna
the
lie.
sea battles. That would be kind of cool to see.
I
It
am
would
not
be cool. Then they could
convinced.
blast some Jay-Z for us.
To Jay-Z, the fact that it was like there was Kanye in that too, a little Kanye, right?
I
In that
That's a
song?
even
Kanye
make that
Jay-Z
far.
song. Yeah.
The fact that
Brian's
they
our
even
resident
did
hip-hop
that
expert.
is kind of crazy. And
It threw off
fine.
the
I'm
vibe,
glad.
'cause
but
I don't actually think the trailer was all that bad.
I don't think it was terrible.
But I think that it really
music
threw off the
choice.
tone for the last half. I'm shocked that it's getting as ratioed as it is, personally.
Yeah, that was a surprise. And some jackass from fucking the Daily Yeast, yeast infection, went after my boy Perry for his thumbnail. Stop the Asian hate. That's all I'm gonna say. Perry's
What
thumbnail is
did
a work
Perry
of art.
do?
Oh, could you find the thumbnail picture?
Let me go get the thumbnail.
He put the lead actor with a Tupac hat on, gold chains, a pimp cup, and like an Africa pin.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Should have been Wakanda.
I mean, for me, that music choice was just so out of place that it makes me question their judgment.
They put rap into everything. Like I was checking out a commercial on YouTube, and they're trying to sell you, washing machine Tide Pods, but then it was rap music, and I'm sitting there like, what the hell does hip hop have to do with washing dishes?
Well, it's like the new Assassin's Creed set in Japan, ancient Japan,
yeah,
rap music.
that was
It's like, what on earth?
very
That's
pointed.
because there's black people in it.
He's not wrong though.
I think that's literally the logic.
Wait,
yeah.
It's the same logic,
person.
dude.
Black
Same logic.
person.
Oh, you look for that.
I wonder how long ago it was they came up with the idea of having one black person just go on a rampage through a city, punching and killing Asian people everywhere he
Uh-oh.
goes. Like, how
Sounds like
long
New
ago
York.
did
When
this
Ryan,
idea-
California.
when Ryan says it, I just think of New York.
Yeah.
So
There
Perry,
you go.
Disappointed face.
There you go.
How could people be upset with?
No, what that is confused, angry.
that is my
and
resting.
sad.
That is my resting confusion face. All right, that's
The
what
look
that
of
is.
To me,
sorrow.
it's just like, Perry, what have you done?
What's going on?
Looks racist to me.
Dark Metamorphosis.
Clearly.
Oh boy,
Hey,
stroke.
before we get to this breaking news, Alec Baldwin's case dismissed.
Oh, that makes sense. Of
Shocked.
course.
So there-
Dismissed.
So there was a problem with some of the ammunition, the evidence. Defense says it wasn't disclosed to them in a proper manner.
You
so
mean
they
a
were
problem
alleged
like
to
there
be
was actual bullets, there was actual ammunition in
Big
Alec,
problem.
Yes,
Alec
it
Baldwin's
was
gun?
actually live ammunition was there.
Yeah.
So it would apparently was not disclosed the way it should have been by the or sorry, the
prosecutor?
prosecution didn't
Yeah.
disclose it to the defense like they probably should have. And they had a whole hearing about it today, even though the prosecution argued that it's not material to the case at all. Like it's not something that would help Alec Baldwin get off if it went all the way through the trial. Nevertheless, the way it was handled, it got fucking dismissed by the judge.
Oh,
Because the prosecution didn't disclose evidence according to what we saw in court.
Some
today.
local
Do you think
yokel
they were paid
prosecution.
That just reeks of corruption. Like it really does not. sound-
Incompetence. It's incompetence.
Yeah, it's a fuck up that sucks because when you read through what exactly was found in the process that it went through and when it was discovered and when it was cataloged, they did disclose it on some form, but they didn't do it the proper way that they should have.
So,
It would have no material impact on the actual case itself, which is what the prosecution was arguing.
so they're going to
But,
bring that case again, probably.
I don't know if it was dismissed with or without prejudice.
Okay.
I'm not sure. So
Well, there you go. Alec
it's
Baldwin's
dismissed-
finger never misses.
never misses, especially when he's, paying off them prosecutors.
That's
I'm
right.
just joking. I actually just think they probably fucked up.
I think they did too. Neil Oakley has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. Thank you. Dark Metamorphosis for $10. Gundam is here. X-Ray Girl finally tried BBC. My
What?
wife.
Uh-oh.
No, that's what my thumbnail says. It's begging, boarding, and chatting.
Oh, okay.
Real BBC.
Real BBC. My wife thought her thumbnail was me watching porn. Does Gundam like The Boys on Amazon?
I've never sat and watched it.
Don't start now.
Yeah, avoid it.
Did you read the comic?
No, actually.
Oh, I'd read the comic.
I was
instead.
like a diehard
Comic is
Marvel
good.
guy.
Yeah. No, the comic's good. It started at Wildstorm, got canceled because it was too controversial, and then
Ooh, I like the
Dynamite
sound of
picked
that.
it up. Nick Ferrucci and Barucci picked it up at Dynamite. Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson worked on most of the first part, and then Derek Robertson kind of fell behind on art, so they brought in another guy. Derek just did covers. Plenty of drama behind the scenes on the book, but I thought the comic was really good. Show's dog shit now. Show's absolute dog shit now.
I've heard that
And has been.
most recent season is real bad.
I didn't like last one either, but season 2 was like really my out point, and I continue watching on, but yeah.
It's you commit yourself.
I'm in that comic, Gundam.
Oh,
I'm in it twice.
my God. You're like blowing up.
No, that was back then.
Still, I'm only engaged.
I was blowing up back then. I was getting a little puffy. This was during my relapse, because when you take those the Vicodin and shit, like that makes the puffy as fuck. Those opioids, they're terrible.
I know they're terrible, but my God, did they get you going?
Do they?
They got me going. I felt like I was Superman.
When I
came down.
I won't say which one I did because I don't want to like promote it or anything. But the first time I took a certain one, I was like, oh, I'm fucked because this is great. This is the highest I've ever been. Yet I still have my senses about me.
Yes.
And I'm like, I am screwed.
That's the
die.
best high.
So I'm getting high. I'm really happy. I'm like, I'm gonna die.
There's only two highs. There's the one
Yeah,
where you're
yeah.
like within full power of yourself, but like
You're like,
you're expanding as a human or something, like that you can feel the force or some shit. And then there's the other one where you take it and you're like, oh my God, this is gonna kill me. I'm
Well,
not gonna make it through the night.
the
And then
thing
you start
is,
calling your girlfriend.
exactly.
You apologize.
It's getting very specific.
What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down, and the down was just as bad as the high was good, which makes it bad. Grunt 812 for 10 British pounds, proper money. Hail FNT and X-Ray Girl, her 3 naughty tucks. What the hell?
Oh yeah,
is-
I'm gonna have to Google this.
she didn't have tape, so when she was bagging and boarding, she would tuck over the.
Oh yeah, I
the
tried
envelope.
to tuck it in the. Like
Oh, were you bagging and boarding like without us?
Well, because
Yeah.
I can't
Okay,
actually.
don't
bag and
ever do
board.
that.
I cheated already. Okay, I will tuck
No,
all
I will
my
for
comics.
one.
Yeah, she'll only
On
tuck in front
Tuesday.
of you from now on.
There's a process. No, there's a way you bag and board your comics. Gundam knows what I'm talking about. There's a way you bag and board your comics. So does Ryan. A lot of people here. Comics. And there's a way you don't.
Did I do it right?
Do you
I
do
put
board
shiny side
first?
against the comic.
Shiny
on the
side
back,
against the
the board.
comic. the corner of the comic that's not opening goes in first. You slide it in that way. You try to
there's
put
a
as
technique.
few fingers on it as possible. Go like this. 2 pieces of tape on each side of the flap so you don't have
You can
any
wear
dog
rubber
ears.
gloves.
I think I'm gonna bring out the gloves on Tuesday.
I would. I still have
Like
rubber
for those
gloves
old
just for
rare
that.
comics, I wear gloves. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
See,
wear
now-
gloves for those.
Normally, with sort of ancient artifacts and stuff, they say don't wear gloves because you can't feel the material, so you actually do more damage than with the fingers. Even with like ancient Greek
that
stuff.
is
It depends what it is, because
Yeah.
even the oil on your skin can do damage to like old parchment and things like that, depending on what it is. But yeah,
Maybe you wash your hands first, sanitize.
Definitely wash your hands.
Well, yeah,
first.
it's because they said you do more damage with because you can't sense like
That
the
makes
pressure
sense,
and
yeah.
stuff than oil.
Grunt 812 for 10 British pounds. I gotta finish this one. I have arrived. Please allow this epic show to continue. Up above, down below. Friday Night Tights. Here we go. P.S. The Acolyte is like watching dog poo harden. Sounds like you've done that before. Gene the Machine for $10. Episode 3 from OSHA's point of view. The witches are evil. Episode 3 from Master Squid Game's certain point of view. The witches are even more evil. Good to know. Thank you. Yes. Too Tired for $5. Acolyte thought. If Leslie says this is her reconciling or a reconciliation letter to her sister, is she saying to her sister that they are the same person with the symbiont thing? Sure.
Symbiosis.
Half a brain.
Symbiosis, yes. That maybe. It's a symbiont thing.
I thought she was trying to say she wanted to murder her sister.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you get out of it. Steve DeLon for $20. Oh shit, Gundam's here. Yes, he is. Hail Papa Gundam, my fellow born-again bigot, says a white guy named Tyrone for $10.
I got to make a shirt that says that.
Yes.
I keep forgetting.
Maddening 419 for $20. My first super chat. I thoroughly enjoyed the content of the entire FNT extended family over the past couple of years. Thank you all for the levity. Keep up the good fight. Hail the 199. Hostile bogey inbound. Hostile bogey inbound. It's all one word. I'm amazed I got through that. For $2, the world is burning. Let's meme-sturbate.
Oh, one of my favorite. YouTube stopped me from saying it.
Remember when I was looking for that clip, Gundam? And I didn't
Divine David.
And I didn't know how to describe it, so I sent you the weirdest fucking DM ever.
You're like, I'm looking for a weird transsexual.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You're like,
that's kind of an oxymoron.
Well, I'm like, I have no idea.
I'm sitting here like, you've really got to narrow it down. I have bad makeup on. I'm like, you're not helping me.
I know. But you found it. You found it, and it was great.
Shishoro.
Shishoro for $50.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Oh,
Good
you
luck
read
with that one.
this.
The ACSY Yasuke music video by a bunch of Asian characters.
I was going to say Ching Chong Bing Bong.
Okay, Ching Chong Bing Bong. Mocking Ubisoft on YouTube is over
Holy
1 million
fuck.
views.
We too low.
In 6 days, Japan is trolling
Bang ting
Ubisoft
ow.
in the best way. Well, it's a popular
go.
video, apparently.
Ruby for 70 Zardozes. A super chat framed as a bribe to seduce Gundam to please take the Headland mugshot down.
It's
He did.
down, see?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God.
Thank God.
I think you should put it up.
Oh, okay.
No.
I saw it.
Please no.
Started it.
Yeah, please no.
Is T1S or TIS for $5. Ryan and Chrissy are my favorite ginger YouTubers. Also, the laptop I bought from Chris Gore is still locked behind a password. Any advice? Yeah, try the password. Try password. That might work.
Yeah.
Try
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
How are like the idea that people are calling me ginger? Look at me and Chrissy's hair. Like, how fucking different are our hair colors?
Yeah,
We're exactly the same
Yeah.
person. I
It's
don't know
more
what
of a
you're talking about.
reference that you don't have a soul.
You're right
without.
next to each other.
Chrissy and Ryan are about as much ginger as freaking X-Ray Girl. Okay. Maybe Chrissy's a
Yeah.
real ginger.
She
I'm
can
not
dye
very
her hair red.
I'm a little gingery
Yeah.
now. I
Yeah.
need to get my roots done.
I was born a ginger, then it turned blonde.
And then
I got ginger in my beard.
I got ginger in my beard too.
I found
That's
a
not
gray
gray.
hair in my beard. For the first
Oh, you're
time, I
getting
blame
old.
Acolyte.
Oh.
I blame Acolyte.
Did you pluck it?
Thanks for not
No, it's
blaming
here.
me.
His name's Stuart.
It's
Oh,
okay. Good.
cute.
Keeping it
Hi,
with me.
Stuart.
Shake from Hunger Team. Thank you for 20. Thank you, brother. FR Paul Kelly for $5. Thank you for the super sticker. 2% right for $25 says asking for a shout out for my favorite small channel, up and coming channel. Dream Slayer Studios, hours and hours of excellent tabletop RPG gaming for years, and sadly still less than 500 subscribers. Well, keep at it. How long? It was 5 years till I got 1,000 subs. 5, 4.5,
grind.
5. Yeah, it's a grind.
It's a soul-crushing grind, not just any grind.
You know how to inspire them.
You really do, Gundam. But life is a grading curve, right? So
Yes.
I could be like doing lawns for the housing units that are for the guards at Folsom Prison, or I could be doing this. And you know what? Greatest job in the fucking world. Greatest job in the world. Yes, they have housing at the prison, right? There's a whole story for that. I'll save it for the book. Save it for the book. Nathaniel and Selmo for $10. Thank you very much. Hey, gang. First time super chat. And don't be gentle. I like it rough. Question for Gundam. What the hell happened to quality content, you SOB? I need my fix. Oh, yeah. God bless everyone.
Got something new in the works. It's coming one of these days. Hiya!
Can I
Be
say
ready
that
for something on the fringe?
Can I say I think it is going to be great when it
Oh, well,
happens?
thank you.
I think it's going to
talked
be
to Gary
great.
about it, and I shared my feelings.
I think it's going to be fucking great. So I can't wait.
Gay.
Either that, or it's going
bit
to
gay, too.
crash and burn with all the people I've decided to interject into it. We're all on the fringe.
That's every time before I start an episode of FNT Gundam. That's like every single fucking. What are we at? 310? 310 times?
310 shows?
At least.
Yeah.
Wow.
So before
No,
hitting stream, going, well, this could be fun or it could destroy everything. Let's find out.
Don't do it, Fluffy.
Whee.
Grant
Fluffy.
812 for £5 British pounds. Big shout out to X-Ray. Thank you, X-Ray and Chrissy, for being beautiful straight women with huge personalities. Simp boobies, by the way. Utmost respect from Belfast. Love y'all. Do you like our boobies?
Thank you.
Do you like our boobies? Schmeegs has gifted 10 Nerdrotic membership for 50. Shake from Hunger Team for 20. And thank you. Again, I'm going to reward you with my watching that you can't even watch. It's just my reacting to the Acolyte episode 8. We will get all the answers. We'll find out what the Force looks like.
Oh, it's female.
Guess what? It's black and female. Yeah,
I know, right? Big shocker from Disney. Shake
the
from
Force
Hunger
is
Team.
female, and now we know the Force is black. Thank you.
There you go. Shake from Hunger Team for 20. I feel like I'm in Oz. Gary, the Scarecrow quarterback, is the lion, and Ryan is the Tin Man. Oh, wait. I'm in the wrong Oz. I'm in the Oz from the early 2000s of HBO. Oh, wow. I really messed up. Luckily, I have you guys. Yes. Just don't bring up spoons, okay? If you've watched that show.
I would watch a Wizard of Oz with Ryan playing a character. Like the cynical Tin Man.
If you did a mashup of Oz and Wizard of Oz, would you watch that?
I don't know. There was a lot of gay stuff going on in there.
yeah.
Am I right, Ryan?
It's kind of weird. Like, just let me be a part of the Lollipop Guild, man. I'm fine. Me and comics will hold that down.
No,
right?
Sorry, comics is never going to work again. Midgets can't work anymore, right? So thanks,
Peter. Fucked me. Yeah, thanks.
To be honest, I fucking hate unions, so it probably wouldn't be the job for me anyway.
Wait, comics is a midget? What?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a stool he's on.
He is a midget.
4 feet tall.
So the Time Bandits trailer came out. We're not going to show it again. It's fucking dog shit.
It's awful.
And there's
It's
no
heartwarming.
There's no little people in it. It's
None.
It's all a bunch of normal, average looking, and then like Lisa Kudrow with a half a pound of plastic in her face. So there you go.
Sexy.
Sexy. Josh Kelsey for $19.99. That's all he does is drop a $19.99, walks away. Hail, Josh. John Wilcox for $5. $175 million of the Acolyte budget was given to Carrie Ann Moss to commit career suicide.
I think that happened with the
She's
last
probably ready to
Matrix.
retire at this
I was gonna
point.
say that too.
I would take it.
Michael
in the
Real
dumps.
for $19.99. Is Ryan just an autist except for Stargrift?
Excited for.
It's
What?
excited for Stargrift, but he said
What was
I
the
got caught up. I got
about?
caught up. Is Ryan an autist? Yes. Excited for Stargrift. What are you coming back to do, Stargrift?
I don't fucking know. Probably sometime after the Acolyte ends. We'll see.
There you go.
But it's wild that everyone's like, wow, he remembers things. He knows things. He must be autistic. Maybe
His brain works.
Exactly.
Fluggy for $10. Hail the Fellowship based on who he is playing. I will not be surprised if Denzel will be crowned Emperor of Rome in Gladiator 2, since his character was Emperor in history. I didn't catch the character name, so we'll find out when we get closer to it. C Black for $4.99. Thoughts on Toby Hugh, OG Avengers leading the multiverse Avengers? It's a gimmick. I think it'll be cool to see, but like it's not going to fix anything. And actually, I could make an argument it makes things worse eventually. All this talk of superhero fatigue and it's not real. But if it's not real, then why are they having a hard time making a fucking Blade movie? Why did they have to reshoot the Captain America sequel without Captain America and throw in Red Hulk? And why does every movie have to have every fucking superhero in it now? It's because they're not as special anymore.
Yeah, superhero movies are no longer viewed as an event viewing thing. Now, the only time it's when you cram it full of a million fucking cameos. That's the new event, right? So that's why those movies are taking off now. It's so... The conversation around superhero fatigue is so stupid because it is not some black and white answer. There are multiple reasons why they're struggling at the theaters, not just one thing or another. There can be multiple contributing factors.
Socking is one of them.
Yes.
Eric July's fire detector. Beep. Chirp. Chirp. Drake Timbershaft for $10. Torben was told he'd have to play a date, has the play date on Naboo. Then they sent his pants wetting ass to collect cannabis on Brendock. No tolerance for
Incompetence.
God, I hate it when it's all one word, but I understand why you do it. For $9.99, when Anna Super Saiyan turned into the smoke monster, she looked like Shao Kahn turning into Hydra in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh yeah, little extended face. Yep, see it. I see it.
Edward Morris for $5. Hey Gary and panel, just out of curiosity, what do you think the over/under that Sam Bucky actually becomes canon in New World Order? God bless. Nah. I'll just say no, knowing what I know. Albert Not a Retro for 10 Canadian pesos. Just watched some Catherine Hahn Jimmy Kimmel opening. She's a garbage person, and her jokes make Chrissy seem funny. Wow, that's ouch.
She just cut the shrapnel.
She's beating a human right now. Why'd you do that?
Whoa.
Yeah. By the way, Chrissy, thanks for doing that video on Asa Akira. I don't even know who that is. Too bad.
That's a porn star.
Oh,
Really? What? How do you know?
Hang on. You're wondering if you went through that a few questions ago.
Really? That's not a mystery, Gundam.
Well, how do you know?
I heard a rumor. I don't know.
Reaverman for £2 It's clear the witches are Nazgul, Nazgirls. Joseph Fabre for $10. Why do affluent white female liberals always favor witchcraft Wicca, even in a galaxy far, far away? Someone should do a study on that because they lack meaning in their lives and they're bored because their lives are too fucking good and they can't get enough box wine. I don't fucking know.
Also, there's far less
feminism is what it is.
There's far less accountability involved if your life is controlled by super spatial planets entering Uranus and stuff than actually your life is your fault.
Entering your anus.
Well, he's
Uranus.
Mandingo on the Streamline side for $10. Disparu is so sexy. I'd like to get to know him, biblically speaking. Wow.
I really need
Dang.
All right.
Everybody's got their simps. There you go. Drake Timbershaft for
Was it
$10.
called Steve?
Yeah, yes. For $10, Luke Skywalker will want to see the galaxy. Torben, wow, I want to go home. Nathan Rodriguez for $5. Star Wars and Disney become degenerate locales, and I won't be surprised if Disney put incest in Star Wars now. That's how low they can go. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried everything Game of Thrones, because that seems to be the approach with a lot of these properties. Is I want to make it like Frozen meets Kill Bill, meets this, meets that, make it Star Wars. Will Campbell on the Streamlab side for $15. Hail, everyone. Marvel trash indeed. How can you fuck up Mahershala fucking Ali killing a legion of vampires? Also, the Jedi did nothing wrong. If anything, they were super right in what they did to the space lesbians.
Now there's a T-shirt. The Jedi did nothing wrong.
There you go. Martin Soul for 72 for $4.99. So tired of Acolyte talk. The RP Star Wars. I'm done. Good luck. I'll check back when you guys are done. Me talking about it. Okay. Check back after next week.
I understand.
BMX Jedi for $9.99. Listen, Padawan. Tommen has been away for 7 weeks. He missed Marjorie's snatch. Can you blame him? Sith Cake for $2. His name is Wimp Low. Show respect. The Netzrack.
It is kind of crazy that actor's like 2 roles of note, at least. I don't know what else he's in. Kills himself in both of them. He's definitely
that is weird.
Like being typecast now.
Yep. You are going to be weak and suicidal. Okay. The Netzrack for 100 Danish krona. The original poor, the obviously poor Nubaka is searching for coins in order to buy a better looking fursuit. There you go. Thunderstorm for $4.99. Acolyte is just 1 calorie of talent with 99% of activism. I wouldn't say even 1 calorie of talent. Side effects may include vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, and diarrhea. Placebo Shotgun. Placebo Shotgun 8 for $5. Davies and Kurtzman in the same room. Forget CERN. That level of suction will generate a black hole and pull us into a new universe. Hopefully better. I agree. G&G play highlights for $10. Gary, the Gladiator 2 trailer score is actually good. If you just remove the rapping lyrics, I made a video edit that's on my channel. I removed the lyrics and it really works. I did one too. I thought I improved it greatly, by the way. The Gladiator soundtrack is great. The battle from Hans Zimmer is fucking amazing. Listen to it in the gym today. Disney Star Wars Jedi / Catholic, witches / Wiccan, Sith atheists. Says Brian McCann for $2. Tony 0199 for 20 Canadian pesos. As Bob Barker would say, please have your Wookiee spayed and neutered. Matteo Sarto for 20 euros. I won't be surprised if the Acolyte makes vibrating lightsabers canon. That's true. Grunt 812 for £5 Proper money. Episode 7 reinforces that the coven of, let's be honest, commie witches spit and prefer cream pies. They turkey paste with the thread, hoping for a black Ryan. There you go. They got an Asian version. Maybe it's Milo. WG is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Steve DeLon for $5. I'm at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport getting white girl wasted, waiting for my flight to Midland, Odessa. You mean you're drinking wine? Okay. Frosty Film Watcher for $30. Thank you. I watched this for the Brave New World trailer. Steve Rogers is Captain America. Sam Wilson is Falcon. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Hail to the Fellowship. Hail Friday Night Tights. And hail to you, Simon Ho. What's up, Simon? For 5 Canadian pesos. Acolyte. Jed DEI. You know what's funny is there is a term for DEI that's called Jedi. We did talk about this.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Jaundice.
Justice, equity, diversity, inclusion.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. Fight effectively because they are using the Force to deflect criticism. Amanda's cringe dancing proves she's a real lesbian. Yeah, Lady Greymaster found an article that says like using that term Jedi might not be good anymore because of what the Jedi represent in Star Wars, which is just levels of retardation I don't want to go over. Io for Why the term Jedi is problematic for describing programs that promote justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
That's an article complaining that they're using it because the Jedi are like an inappropriate thing to compare.
Yeah, they're
it to.
patriarchal and shit. Yeah.
Oh my fucking Christ.
Yes.
People are so desperate to virtue signal that they'll just complain about anything.
IO for 10 British pounds. We have Occam's razor, Hanlon's razor, and now Headland's razor. And yeah, and the Occam's retard. When in doubt, choose the most retarded option. That's actually Occam's retard. So
Occam's retard.
Yes.
Let's hope
Raven
she actually uses that razor. Otherwise, Master Vernestra is going to be picking it out of her teeth.
Raven Rainfall for $5 US dollars, which are going down in value. As pagan who practices witchcraft, this is embarrassing. I love Star Wars, and witches and witchcraft doesn't belong in it. They mentioned the Night Sisters briefly in this episode. Felt like that was tagged on a little bit. ARG, not another name for 1999. Remember, the heart and soul of the DEI bridge isn't Hollywood. It's Soup Campbell's is the place most of this crap comes from. Hollywood is more obvious, but any real change needs to be broader. It's in every corporation. Yes, it is. Every corporation thought.
I think bridge specifically is being pushed by Campbell's Soup,
Yes,
but DEI at BlackRock,
everywhere
all
else,
these investment companies are the ones that are pushing it.
It's in every corporation. It's in every single fucking corporation. It's in every facet of our government. It's everywhere.
I mean, it just came out that there was that advertising group that have been pushing censorship and stuff that's come out recently. So,
well, that's what
John Deere, fucking John Deere tractors. You kidding me?
That's crazy.
Yeah. What was that, Disparu?
Advertising has been used to control companies for a long time. That's why Twitter has now gone exactly the way it did before with the CEO, why they've signed up to everything that they're all under before, because it's the only way they get advertisers. And without money, your company goes under.
How do we take it from the globalist?
Well, didn't Elon say he's launching a lawsuit now against that company?
He's suing somebody.
Good.
Yeah, but that's a legal thing compared to advertisers, where it's like, well, we just won't give you money if you do this.
Yeah.
That actually carries more weight than
it does.
Someone he's willing to sue.
Ministry of Wrong Thing for $4.99. This is why we have to do ad reads now. We didn't do one today.
We'll do one next week.
We'll do one next week, though. Aishin for $10. What kind of Jedi can't cope with being away from home for 7 weeks?
Well, no, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
One written by a woman.
Yes.
Like at least 8 years.
Simon Ho for 5 Canadian pesos. Homer Simpson predicted Acolyte. Wait a minute. There's something bothering me about this place. I know. The lesbian bar doesn't have a fire exit. Overlord Tenji Goku.
Tenji Goku, yeah.
Tenji Goku.
That was close.
Thank you.
Very good.
All hail. I love you people. Been watching for years. Stay awesome and God bless to you. Well, thank you very much. BMX Jedi for $4.99. Well, if the twins are one soul split into two, do they share a brain? That would explain why they have each have half a brain. That would explain the performance. It really would. Bredica 6 for $5. I cracked the code. It's not Immaculate Conception. The chosen one is saved. One of the lesbian space witches identifies as a woman. That's Darth Daddy. Darth Daddy.
Daddy, chill.
TJ Jordan.
Ass.
There's a dude in the all-female lesbian space witches. Just want to point that out. Since we're getting Gladiator 2, here's my pitch for Titanic 2. After her death, Rose time travels back to her younger self on the Titanic and works to prevent the ship's fate, as well as Jack's. Well, she lets him on the fucking door. There's plenty of room. Okay. Buff Geek for $10. Can someone, for the love of God, tell me what turning into spooky lesbian queef fart was supposed to achieve?
Get everyone killed.
I still don't. When I was watching it, my immediate assumption, not hearing Leslie Headland, anything else, my immediate assumption was because she created the children, she was about to reabsorb them like back into herself, like using the Force. That was like what my interpretation of it was. But I don't know what the fucking plan was there. I
when everything was kicking off and the fight was about to kick off, I thought she was just trying to move her daughter out of the dangerous situation. So I took it. So
Yeah,
she's
I'm
gonna,
like,
going to dissolve her and go somewhere else.
She was
Yeah, but
operating like Harry
she was,
Potter.
like, a long way away.
That's how
Yeah, but she
magical
was like
is.
dissolving the kid as well, and so I thought they were just going to go inside the building as like a teleportation kind of thing.
And
That's
it
a
did look a
slow-ass
lot like
teleportation.
the Death Eaters kind of.
It did look like Death Eaters.
It did look
Yeah.
like Death Eaters.
Agreed. Which is, I fucking hate that they look like that in the movie because like no one's flying around like that. I get it,
No.
a visual, like,
But they're just
it
flying.
looks better
Yeah.
visually, but I hated that they did it.
Yeah, yeah. Cat G3000 for $5. The castle was made of pumice boulders soaked in future Kingsford barbecue charcoal lighter. There you go.
Those things start right up.
They start
they do.
right up
Yeah.
for your barbecue. I had barbecue before the show. Little Texas barbecue.
Right on.
So what's for dinner? Joe Eager for $10. I don't think Falcon really ever worked in the MCU. He just shows up and fights with no backstory. Brody, he's got a little backstory. He's got a little backstory. He's
They go into it.
yeah.
Not the most like entertaining thing ever, but not the
No,
most compelling
no. I think he was
backstory.
fine. Anthony Mackie is a good side character. He is not a lead actor.
Like not everybody has to see their fucking parents die in front of them or get like irradiated by some being. Like it's okay to have a little bit more normal. Hey, military dude fucking wants to serve, kind of falls into this. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brody had far more characterization. Stay at home hippo for $5. Disney Star Wars women in power are the most sadistic and corrupted leaders in our galaxy. Even Leia allowed a war criminal off scot-free. Well, if you want to judge Leia from The Last Jedi, she was fucking retarded. So there you go.
She's
But so
brain
was
damaged.
Luke, and so was Han.
But she could survive in space.
Han wasn't in The Last Jedi.
I'm sorry, from The Force Awakens.
Fair
he was
enough.
retarded in the previous movie. There.
And the one after.
Oh God, yeah. Oh jeez.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Remember when they had
a
Harrison
haircut.
Ford, an unshaven Harrison Ford, who clearly just got rolled out of bed for a $5 million paycheck? He'd be like, "What's a Force ghost?"
Whatever.
Grant,
Yeah,
812 for 2 British pounds. The Paratois by Christopher Hinz. One mind, two bodies. Well, that's actually in a lot of stuff. Shake from Hunger Team has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you. The Meister for $10 on Streamlabs side said, I would love to start my own channel and maybe not on and maybe be on FNT one day. How would you recommend getting started? P.S. MCU and Disney Sun battles suck butt. Suck butt. They suck butt. Don't be a butt sucker. You start.
Release a sex tape.
Yeah. Get a halfway decent microphone and talk about some.
Are you an
Get it.
attractive blonde woman?
Yes.
The irony of
If
this
you're an attractive
conversation.
woman, regardless if you know nothing about whatever you're talking about, that's the easy way. Okay. If you're a dude, you're gonna have to grind a little bit.
You're gonna have to grind for a few
It
years.
is.
But then once you get there, you have the attractive blonde woman pitching you the sex tape that was a Twitch streamer. That's when you hit the big time, like Daddy Gundam.
You sound like
Oh.
you're speaking from experience.
Exactly. Again, it sounds like
Dang, Gundam.
so. Real quick, it's as simple as just starting. I think people might get anxiety about and I didn't have to worry about this because I never thought anybody was going to watch, and they didn't at first for a long fucking time. So it allowed me to work on stuff and get better. I mean, I put that in air quotes. I don't know, but I would just make sure you have a good mic. Don't even worry about the camera.
Here's my suggestion: just try to have fun and do not plan on going
Have
anywhere
fun.
with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good
That's
advice.
The key.
That's where I was at, right? So I was doing the podcast twice a month. I was having a blast doing it. I think, it was just a fun hobby.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean, if you
thing-
get into it to be successful, you're going to get burnt out. You need to do it because if you're not enjoying it, good luck keeping it up and consistent getting through the grind. I never thought it would take off. I just was making it because I was enjoying it, and that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
And the thing with anxiety is you have to make stuff before people will even see it in the first place. So your first videos will suck because everybody's first video sucks, but
Correct.
nobody's going to see them anyway. So anxiety is literally useless, and you just start and you will improve the faster the more you make.
That's where you workshop everything.
And try and improve one thing a video.
Yes, and even if you're doing something right, the comments will mostly be "you suck." So just be ready for that.
Pretty much, brace for impact with that.
Brace for impact with that, and that's part of the learning process too. You just be,
and you never stop being told you suck. Remember,
no, that never stops. That never stops.
In fact, the simple answer is
more people
tell you that.
More people end up telling you that because as your
Actually, yes.
viewership grows, the trolls grow with it. It's just what happens.
Dearest for $5. Obviously, they lived in an abandoned coal mine used for starship fuel. Coal dust was embedded in the walls, or it's a former nitrate factory. Yes. JD for $4.99. The stone structure burning is like the Simpsons joke where Homer pours a bowl of cereal and it catches on fire. Yes. Thunderstorm for $4.99. Lift the entire bridge, not just the two girls' soul. Yeah, that was the only difference from that one. And again, the first point of view was better. Cape Gabe for $5. This is what happens when there isn't a man around to stop women from putting scented oil everywhere. Fire trap.
You know what's funny? That's actually very true. I was dating a girl who literally set her apartment on fire due to scented oil.
No.
Oh,
It happened while I was there, and I had a broken tooth from a fist fight I lost. So I was solving my problem by drinking Jack. I'm completely blitzed out of my mind, putting out a fire. And she had it next to a bunch of old magazines, like for fashion. She never even read them. The fire's raging. I put it out, and she goes, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here," because I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, well, I hope you got more Jack because my tooth is killing me.
Mm-hmm. It sucks to lose a fight. So much worse when it costs you a tooth or couple. Try getting a molar. Try getting a molar knocked out, bro.
Yeah, the back one,
Wow,
right?
holy shit.
It's aesthetically it's better, right? It's
Yes,
much better.
but it hurts so
like a
much more.
motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. When I did that for the first time, it's like, oh, this isn't like in the movies when you spit out your tooth. Mine was like,
yes,
yeah, the blood was coming out. My tube.
You're like eating and spitting up little chunks to the left of the tooth. Your
My
brain
tube.
is just
The
going nuts.
The worst part of that story, though, is when you said the first time. So it's happened multiple times.
Wait.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
my life is real boring now on YouTube, but before YouTube, oh man, it was so much fun. I really took it for granted.
See, you and I have different perspectives on that because I really love my boring ass fucking life where I just watch fucking TV.
But you took it to like the next level. I didn't hit yet.
Okay, I'm glad YouTube came and saved you from that. S Rife 78 for $5. FNT on what headlamp is like. Brett Cooper worked with headlamp. Yeah, I've seen the video on the Heathers remake. Any channels to her? I mean, I don't.
I've met her, but I don't know how to.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to contact her. I don't know if she'd even come on the show. But I'd be
she
open
made a
to
video about it, so anything we need to know, it's in that video.
Yeah, yes, and it's a good video. Go check it out. She's covered like our stuff before.
Yeah,
Thank
she
her
has.
for it. Yeah, and I think
I'm not
she's
sure how
one
comfortable Brett Cooper would be if she came on here and I was just talking about Dave Filoni butt fucking animals.
I didn't even touch on how that just escalated so quickly the first time you said it.
Jonathan Petrie for $4.99. I don't always agree with you guys, but this show sucks so much. I am beyond glad I haven't given them my time. I stopped my Disney Plus, my D Plus sub. Good for you.
Good. Yeah.
Good for you.
That's the best
There's
way.
nothing
of,
on
hurting
that.
them.
The only thing worth a shit on that entire platform that you really can't get all of is Daredevil. And you can, by the way. There's
Bluey.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have little kids anymore. So, Daredevil. And you can get bootlegs of Daredevil.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the article that came out? 30% of the viewer base of Disney Plus is watching Bluey.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wow, dude. That's
the vast amount of Disney shit that's on there, and it's Bluey.
Imagine Yoda or Darth Vader combing the forest with metal detectors to find force rocks. Says Solidus Prime for $4.99. Well, we still got one more episode left. And they could like roll in Yoda at the very end going, oh, bad situation is whatever the fucking he would say.
Confused you are. Like some shit like that.
Japanese Demon Lord for $5. just a quick reminder that Indiana Jones exists in Star Wars Legends canon. Yes, he does.
In an Infinities story, there's like a silly crossover story. Yeah.
Star Wars Into the Great Unknown, 2004. I actually like that story quite a bit, where Indiana Jones is running around the jungle and he's looking for Bigfoot, and it turns out it's Chewbacca, and he finds a crashed Millennium Falcon with a skeleton of Han Solo.
Yeah.
It's a cool story. It's a cool story. Grunt 812 is gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5. Thank you very much. Arnold Squasha N-word for $7.99 Australian with a neck like that. Leslie looking like a tortoise. She came out of her shell like she emerged from a lesbian forest. She also built like a horse chest. She's built like a linebacker. Okay.
Almost
built like
rhyme.
a horse chest. What?
That's what it says.
You know, horse chest.
A horse chest.
Yeah, like the chest of a horse, right?
Almost bars.
I guess.
Grunt 812 for £2 The lightsabers in Acolyte look like dildos. Squishy Blue for £5 Lucas says balance when he really means peace. Also, Acolyte episode 7. This could have been an email. Okay.
That's accurate.
Yes, that is accurate. They could have solved everything by just hitting send. Right, Shad? They had all the proof they needed. Just attach file, send. That's all you do. Human 16533 for $5. Leslie Headland's inverse interview quote, I would argue that Manny's character is more in balance than Soul's character. Confident?
Those characters.
Yeah.
So
Smilo is more balanced than Soul's character. I mean, he's more confident.
It's because it is not the traditional sense of balance in terms of like a scale being balanced.
It's black pilled. It's I'm evil. Fuck it.
Yes, he's super.
That's not balanced.
He's super out of balance in terms of the Star Wars universe and what balance means, which is the absence of evil, absence of darkness, absence of the dark side.
Which tells you
Lesbian
Headlamp doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Correct.
Leslie Headland's interview for that said we needed everyone to identify with him, so we had to give him a reason that everyone would agree with. And she's like, you can't disagree with him, can you? Because he just wanted freedom to do whatever he wanted. But freedom to murder people. That's an entirely different thing that you're asking for.
I know. When you think about this stuff for half a fucking second, you're like, Jesus Christ. This past people who are paid lots of money to approve these type of things. And they put it on a streaming service for the world to see.
Multiple people.
For fuck's sake, when I do a video and I don't catch everything, I watch that thing a minimum of 15 times to make sure it makes sense. I watch it at different speeds. I see how it plays out. Does it have some form of a narrative in it? And sometimes it doesn't. We got to fix shit. No, they just like cut, print, let's fucking go. We're genius.
That's a testament. That means there are multiple layers of incompetence that they are like, no one saw the script and thought, Sol holding up the bridge and not grabbing the girls. That's retarded. And there's so many things like that where the most cursory glance from someone with half a brain would think that doesn't make sense. Maybe you should fix it.
She's the co-creator of Russian Dolls. How dare you question her?
That was such an amazing series. How many seasons did that have? 3?
I don't know. I couldn't make it past the first one.
Yeah, I couldn't either. Okay. Piston for £6 If May and Osha are twins with one consciousness, how much money do you want to bet that they will do a fusion dance and become one and awaken a super space witch?
This is a Dragon Ball Z reference. Go
is.
What about a scissor dance? Maybe a scissor dance?
Pornography.
Oh, okay. Knee pain, which is the currency of the future. You know, Robert Meyer Burnett says it's authenticity, but Gundam says it's porn. So
that's the currency.
I've done a lot of research. I'm pretty sure, you know.
Knee pain for $5. What if Chimere, got to say that one carefully, Chime's scar, Queermere's scar was because of some crazy Jedi S&M and lightsabers because Venestra was a different kind of master. She probably is at home. That's why she was cast in the role. Jedi Master Nepo. Satan Slayer, 12 for $5. I really want to hear a rant from Harrison Ford when he got called back for more filming. I wish I was there to be a fly in the wall for that one. Reshoots. The hell are you talking about? I did everything I was supposed to do. I'm Harrison fucking Ford. When I break a bone, it costs studios more money than most films. Arnold squash it N-word for $2.99 Australian. Captain Clarence parents have a real good marriage. You trying to fuck with me right there? Clarence, Roger, Victor. 21 Palisa has gifted 2 Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you very much. RX Firm for $1.99. Captain African American Bigots. Love you guys. Oh, that's kind of better. Captain African American.
Captain African American. That's great.
I don't know if the shoe fits.
I love that. How did I not think of that?
I just call him Black Captain America.
Yeah,
Black Falcon Captain
Well,
America.
remember
every video I make,
Cap.
that's how I refer to him. Black
Remember
Captain
in
America.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, they were riffing on that a little bit. It's like, why aren't you Black Falcon?
Yeah.
Yep. Albert, Captain African American. Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian pesos. I'd ask, why didn't they just bring back Sam Elliott from Ang Lee's Hulk movie to play Ross? I asked that too, but I already know because they're not smart. Exactly. Sam Elliott's still a great actor. He was in 1883, and he was awesome in that.
It's great.
Judah for $5. 13 Batman, 8 Supermen, 6 Hulks, 4 Wonder Woman, 1 Wolverine, and Deadpool. Sounds like a porno.
Partridge
In a pear tree. Battle Him, 63 for $5. How could you not support Silver Suffragette? Controller supported for $5. Happy Friday, Acolyte, and MCU no bueno. Doesn't take a verge to know that, right? FNT girls, y'all pretty as usual. The rest of you ugly as fuck. I added as fuck. Thanks. I know. Simp. And Jesus Davila has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership, and that wraps it up for the show on YouTube. Boom.
On the team.
We're getting better at this. So thank you, everyone on YouTube. We appreciate the Modrotics. We appreciate everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. We appreciate the lurkers. We'll be back next week with Mahler and Star Wars Theory. So you're going to get a Star Grift on Friday. Look at how fucking happy Ryan is.
So happy.
It makes me happy. Mahler and Star Wars Theory are joining us to talk about the Acolyte finale and put that fucker to bed. Put it to bed. Now, I have a Disney Star Wars video that may or may not be released during Comic-Con. That's going to be hopefully my last one of the year. Fucking hope. Skeleton Crew, don't give a shit about. Don't really care. Don't care. When's that coming, Ryan? Is that later this year? Do we even? Is
Probably
it
around the holidays?
It's going to have to be. They need to announce it soon. They need to announce it too. So thanks Gundam for coming on. You can hang out for the bonus hour Rumble or not. It's
No
entirely up to you.
problem.
All right. Oh,
I've
thanks,
got a
brother.
wild little dog here.
So YouTube, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Get yourself on Rumble.
Quickly run!
I should probably mention that we're going over to the green app right now for the bonus hour. If you want to join us.
Rumble.
Green machine.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.